Another beautiful day in paradise once again. KevRow University. Uh, what a time it is to be alive for myself. A lot of research being done. Lots of effort being done to. I don't know. I don't even know what to call this anymore. Other than KevRow University. So much has transpired over the last 2 to 4 years. Unbelievable. But never in my wildest dream did I see, not just knowing it, remembering. This is the key. Remembering the post office. Hit that like button and subscribe. The safety deposit boxes. The money, the gold, the jewels, crown. Yes, sir, Bob. All of these great conversations, going back, uh, going back 2 to 4 years, and now coming back to it and realizing, wait a minute, that was just notes ready to be looked back upon. So today we gonna be talking about the Wells Fargo company and the post office. Press one. Feel free to let me turn my phone lines on. People might want to call in. This is only a brief discussion because I have a whole curriculum around this, and it's one of the most beautiful things that I've came across because we're studying the gold. Where's all this gold, and how did it end up underwater? And what is the riddles of these myths about ships and these stories about Bermuda Triangles and these all of these people and actors and the whole theater of it all. What was it about? You feel me? And I've just been following the money, and staying on where is the king's gold. You feel me? In between that time, we had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But now, at this point, we moving into a different phase of the role. I'm moving into a different phase of just my life in general. And why not all of us together choose this as a pivotal point to think about what I'm saying here. Wells Fargo company, the post office, the lock boxes. You remember the lock boxes? Anybody out there? 424-209-9506. You remember the where's Ali? He was here. We was talking about the lock boxes. See, I got a new approach. But he was here. We was talking about the lock boxes. Who else was here? We was talking about those lock boxes. Say something. It's a beautiful time to speak up or forever hold your peace. Mm, mm, mm. I was wondering what was the significance and why are they finding this underwater and things of this nature. Where were they taking this gold? What were they doing? I know y'all been thinking while we've been out of class, because y'all adults. I have a Dollar Tree, Mike. That's okay. If it's a Dollar Tree, it's okay. Long as the people who support my broadcast can hear, that's all I care about. That's all I really care about in solving the riddles of life. You feel me? And keep doing what I'm doing in life. You feel me? Smoke reloaded. So if it's $1, if it's $10, if it's 300, if it's 1,000, whatever the mic is costing, as long as the people who support my broadcast and interact with me on a different level, as long as they appreciate the effort. You feel me? Cause I beat y'all niggas. And little witch coats in the background. I beat y'all. So y'all might as well give up. Obviously you know my name. I don't know you. Y'all might as well give up. I won already. I won already. That's what y'all. I won when you first saw my face. That's the thing about it. I win because that's what I do. You hear me? You ain't in your life. What's your name? Smoke Reloaded. So you know my real name. Your ego is speaking for you. Press 1. You don't even go by your name. You know my name. I don't even know your name. And you believe in this character in the internet so much. You probably believe in that character more than your real life. Because in real life, you probably get told, go get bread and soda from the local liquor store or something. Another jealous individual. That's not hard to notice. You got Kev Gill, this dude who came up with you. You seen probably, and you probably jealous because how is it that he ain't graduate shit, but still chose to do something with the knowledge that he did learn and receive? Press 1. I went on to college and dribbled basketballs. I went on to college and got degrees in nothingness. Press 1. I went on and did this. I went on and did that. But now I'm worthless. Press 1. And now the most worthless of us all done risen in knowledge and wisdom and became Mr. Popular in all of the earth. That's all right, champ. God will raise you up too if you quit hating on his elected ones. You heard? You gotta stop hating on God's people, bro, in order to be something and to win and to reverse the curse in your life. Press 1. I'm just spitting bars. You gotta stop hating on me so much. Stop worrying about my $1 mic and start worrying about that $1 candy bar you gotta eat for breakfast. Press 1. Press 1. Not worrying about that. What you gonna eat for breakfast and lunch today? Woo, that hurt. Oh, Dugan. Yes, sir. We're about to make you a sandwich today, sir. Bro, you ain't fucking with me, bro. At all. So you gotta stop, bro. Y'all do just stop. Woo! We out here he just be quiet, bro. Stop playing around in my classroom. You're not fucking with me, bro. If you was any type of man, you would call it in. 424-209-9506 before I get my class started. But you don't even believe in yourself. You don't even keep your hygiene up, let alone your language. Press 1. If a job interview hit you upside your head today, you couldn't even tell the nigga. Press 1 what was good about you. You feel me? What you did at your last job. You know why? Because you don't remember. Press 1. You don't remember. You are worthless. You have no knowledge and wisdom in a world where knowledge and wisdom is the new cool. Bro, you worthless. Red Manosphere is proving that even with money, you can be lame. Press 1. Hit that like button. They proving that. So if you got something to say towards Kev, you ain't got to get blocked or nothing. You can just call it in before I get started smoke. You ain't never got no smoke. Hit that like button. Name itself Smoke. Ain't never got no smoke. Nothing on nothing. Just like to come to class and hang out. in a place where nobody knows his name. Press one. That's the song right there. You want to be where people know your name. We don't even know you. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. They don't like you. The person sitting next to you, they don't like you. Look at your kids. They don't like you. Look at your girls. They like me better than you. They like, press one. Your kids is like, press one, Dad. Press one. And mad and shit. Waking up. And where's my food? Press one, little kid. Mad, bro. I make a better virtual stepdad than you do. And you in your own household. Press one, hater. I make a better virtual. I'm gonna start a new web page and tell your baby mama to sign up, huh? And say something. Come back. Where your comeback game? Press one. Tell your baby mama to sign up. Virtual dad. How you doing? I'm gonna eat with your kids. Cause this nigga over here. Press one. Way to fuck somewhere else. Somebody gotta do it. Somebody gotta spend that time. What's up, Clash? From good to see y'all out there. I knew he didn't want no smoke. I knew they didn't want no smoke. I figured that. So, anyway, anybody calling in? Anybody? Taj? Going once? Going twice? Y'all laughing and shit. I'm finna turn this phone line off, and I'm about to get to work. Press one, ladies. I don't want to hear shit the whole year. I don't hear shit the whole year. You see what I'm on? The post office and the gold. This topic been in the air. We was trying to figure out where did all of the king's gold go? And somehow it's all underwater. Hit that like button and subscribe. Coffee and Kush TV, are you there? What's up, champion? Hold on, let me get you on, bro. All right, there you go. What up?
Chilling. Good brother. I think I'm back on course.
What you mean?
Man, I was looking into like the Wells Fargo, like the founding of Wells Fargo, and I ran into Mr. Butterfield.
Wait. What you mean you back on course? Where were you?
You know, last time I was here, there, and everywhere, but you know, I'm seeing connecting it back to Mullis, which is the Legion, and like, and that's the characters with J.P. Morgan Chase, his other character, Nathaniel P. Banks, and that also connects it back to Rufus Dawes and Charles Dawes going forward. And the reason I brought up Mr. Butterfield, and I don't want to take too much away, but his father.
Wait. You talking about the characters?
The characters, but the characters going into like Wells Fargo, the characters that played like founders of Wells Fargo, also a character that was like the son of the guy who came up with Amex.
Those are characters. Those are characters. Okay, what other than going down more characters and more characters and more characters if they're characters on top of characters on top of characters?
Well, what I wanted to bring up was they did like they were doing a speculating on the gold during that Black Friday.
Right, we know that already. With speculation, they didn't even have gold. How did the gold get from the post office to Wells Fargo company? What was Wells Fargo?
Wells Fargo was a post office that turned into the bank. And the reason I brought up Butterfield is because he was the one that had the largest stagecoach. He had the stagecoach route.
It was illegal. He had the first, correct?
Yeah, he had the stagecoach route.
The first stagecoach route. Why? Because they. What other route could? How could he have the first? If he wasn't doing the stagecoach route, it was being done by what? Train.
Right.
So where do the stagecoaches come in?
With the stagecoaches be at the before the Panama Canal, would that be going from one side to the other, the Pacific side to the Atlantic side?
If he got the first stagecoach, Wells Fargo, but that'll just be a lot slower than trains or original set postmasters and post office, because that'll be official governmental shit operating on the land. So if he was the first to be at this time, remember I asked you the other day, I was like, were they only able to operate offshore?
Right. And I went back and listened, and the post offices would be the lighthouses, which would be offshore. Like the banks would be offshore.
What would make you say? What would make you say the post office will be the lighthouses? Because I said that during the show.
Right. That's why I brought it up. Yeah, I went back. That's why.
So what? Other than that, what makes you think the lighthouse is the post office, or why would you think that? How would the lighthouse be the
fact?
Go ahead.
Nothing other than the fact that you had brought it up, and them being the banks, as in like the riverbank, meaning where the deposits are collected.
You got the flow. Go ahead.
All right. So a character that, you know, I mean, it's a character, and it was an interesting character that I came across was.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Call back! Call back! Call back! Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what when did this, you know, because their whole game is to say we came up with this route. It was the first contract, but that'll intertwine with what was already in play with the railroad, and that'll just be more suitable. A lot of things were just connecting in different spots of America, and then that'll go out. What was it? Were they bringing? How did it flip from the people into offshore river banking? That's gonna be dope. That's what I started these conversations for. This is very important. I love that shit. How did we go from banks and Freeman banks to offshore? Whose banks are those? How was that? How? The important question. I love that type of shit right there. Let me ask those type of questions as well. 424 Ali, you want to take a shot? 424-209-95. Oh my god, 9506.
Taj.
What up, Taj? Go ahead.
All right. he had the he was the one that was running the speculation and everything. And what appears that what happened was it's like in transition when the goal was in transition, he ended up like not mistakenly. That's not the word I'm looking for, but he acted like the trains got robbed.
Bingo.
Stick up. That appears how the
Stick up.
was lost.
Exactly. And
yeah.
what did they do with the okay? And it was what?
It was insured.
And what did they do with the gold?
They took it. They gave it to lawyers.
Well, but how did they transport all of that gold off of specific carts, claiming losses on some loads here and there? Go ahead.
They acted as if it was at sea, and they would get lost through shipwrecks. But it was getting transported actually through the other ships through J.P. Morgan, and they were able to move it offshore, like literally offshore in that way, and move it into, you know what I mean, back into their homeland. And that goes back to like that 6 times the amount of gold that was in circulation. That's how they got their hands on that. And you know what I mean? They said it was lost, but they kept it, moved it offshore, and also made it off the insurance through, I want to say it's Ohio Life and Trust. They were also embezzling money through that as well.
Go ahead.
And from what I'm gathering is like that's the way that they were manipulating the supply of gold through Butterfield, the son of the original Butterfield,
yeah,
who was the assistant secretary of the Treasury, and that's why they were coming up with the characters that a lot of them are all in Mullis, which is Legion, that they were that's why they were doing all of that identity fraud, and that's where like what's my man's name? Nathaniel P. Banks.
Go ahead.
Play. He was a part of that. Nathaniel P. Banks is J.P. Morgan, aka
we found. Okay, so we found his father.
Indeed.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Is that why
yes, sir.
What makes you think Nathaniel P. Banks is J.P. Morgan's father?
You can look at him. If you look at him, like that's
how you know it's not the same person.
It could definitely be the same person. It could definitely be the same person, and that if I had to guess, I would say it is. I would say that's Junior.
Well, that's what I've always been saying. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to the shipwrecks. Let's go back. Hold up. Call back. See, Taj is confusing. Press 1. Boy, if I didn't know no better, man, I know a slick talking motherfucker when I hear one. Press 1. Boy, all of a sudden this nigga no now. Boy, that nigga switched that shit around fast. Hold up. Yeah, I was listening to this. How did they get on them ships and them casinos and stuff of this nature? What were they doing as they was nationalizing themselves on the riverbanks and these things of this nature? I'm just sitting right here listening to this nigga. Then that bay come out his ass, Ollie. That bay come out of him, huh? That top. Yeah. I mean, listening to you. And I'm like, Where are you going? Somebody, you back to redeem yourself. Oh yeah, that's what you said. You doing the same thing. That's what you said, and that's what you, bruh, bruh. Bruh, of course that's what I said. I know my bars. I just brought this up on my show. I know my bars. Lord have mercy. So, so 424-209-9506. 424-209-9506. The carriages, the ships, the missing gold, the postal service, the transfer of gold from there, and they were doing what? They were taking it to the ships and running them up specific routes up South America as if it was lost or stolen cargo. All of these characters, like I said, are played by just a few people. Taj was so sure that was his father. J.P. Morgan, J.P. Joseph Payne, Stalin, all of these people, we don't know who they are. I thought he had some solid proof that was his daddy. No, he just running off a kid. Hell no. Come with it. The stagecoach, think about it. That's what I was saying. The stagecoach is the robbery. The stagecoach is the robbery. They were looking like, you got whole families that live in these damn wagons. But at the same time, people have railroad systems already set up. So how is the 6 times the nation's largest wealth on a boat in the cargo? Press 1 and then quadruple that in what they had on them. Because all of these ship stories are decoy bullshit robbery stories that you need to learn to decipher. Which ship had this gold on it, and which ship had this gold on it, and which ship had this gold on it, and shit like that. The ship is the lost gold. Lose one, like the drug game. You lose one to do what? They making it look like, oh, gold coins, and it was this, it was that. Great. Cool. The real treasure is the gold bars that we've been talking about this whole time, where they were being held on the land. They only became shipped when they flooded out the land, in my opinion. There is no way you can move that much gold by way of ship. And me and Taj was talking about something last week. I'm gonna go back to that. The other day. And I wanna stay focused around this topic. And Taj so goddamn confused, and it's hard to listen to him because nigga, I'm like way up there now. I'm way.
Know American history so well, but
press 1.
The story of the heart.
So I had to go back and listen to what me and Taj was talking about, because he talking about he went back and listened. So did I.
Angela's thoroughbred. Fuck with a nerd.
Deloniga.
And this is the conversation in which I was really amused by, because a lot was said. Let's listen.
Thoroughbred. Fuck what a nerd said. I'm a gangster. Damn, that shit sound fresh, huh? That's going to the track. Coffee.
Fact that it was a that's Lake Lanier. That's
Okay.
Oh shit! Did I do something wrong?
Oscarville, the town that was flooded after they came and said, "Hey, these black children."
Oh, there it is.
You know,
I'm sorry
they're
about
great.
that. All right, we touched on something very important.
With the Forsyth County, that what I realized here in Georgia, and
Shit sound damn, Kev, don't do him like that. I'm a straight gangster, Los Angeles thoroughbred. Fuck what the nerd said. I'm a gangster. Man, that shit sound
That nigga
fresh,
Kev
huh?
got
That's going on
bars,
the track.
yeah.
Coffee. I just made a beat.
I cracked myself up though. I ain't gonna lie.
Coffee Kush TV, you on the air, whatever.
these Canvas Ties calling in from Georgia,
What's
man.
up, man? I feel good. I was thinking of Nipsey when I said that. That was smooth right there. Go ahead.
Watch this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, bro. Man, bro, it's like, all right, I was doing research. I fell asleep last night, but I had to catch up on the video. So, off of that, what I realized here in Georgia, and it's going to tie back into what we talking
Watch
about today.
this. Very
here
important.
In Georgia, there was a U.S. Mint in Dahlonega. And that's like North Georgia. That's going up 400.
Thank you, sir. I was lost. I was like,
So,
what the fuck is Granada? That sound like, but go. I'm so glad you cleared that up.
Yeah, it's in North Georgia.
Go ahead.
So it's just north of Forsyth County in Dawson County.
Okay.
That's where Lake Lanier. That's Lake Lanier. That's
Okay.
Oscarville, the town that was flooded after they came and said, "Hey."
Now check this out. Remember the Louisiana Purchase, and remember what I said about all that Middle America being flooded out.
Hey, these black children, you know, they raped the lady and they killed her, and then they flooded out the whole town. Now I never realized, other than the fact that they said it was a very prosperous town, but the purest gold in the world was found all throughout North Georgia, especially in Dahlonega, and that's where everything was being minted at. So it makes sense how they ran all the Americans out of those areas, so that they can have not only, you know what I mean, the businesses and the land, but the actual gold and everything.
Yes.
So that just made, yeah. I never realized it was an East Coast gold rush. That's not something that's here in history.
We talked about the one in the Carolinas.
There's many gold rushes. We got that.
Yeah, there was a few.
Watch
gold
what's
rushes
being said
before,
here.
San Francisco. The thing about San Francisco is the state was so large. You see, it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
The whole state itself, let alone Frisco, but Frisco was
Republic. It's a republic as well.
Was a cold gold rush for a specific reason. Go ahead, champ.
Yes, sir. And that coincides right around the time of the California genocide, and the same way they took the victims
Now,
of the Holocaust
the gold is the people.
during World War II, and
The gold is.
You see, it's so big.
mm-hmm.
The whole state
They took
itself,
the gold, they took the,
let alone
they took all the minerals, but they took the people and the resources of the land. All of them are tied together by law. By law. So not only did they take their belongings at the bank as a nation, all over the place, they took them. That's why the reference is made that what? That's why at the same time the California genocide was going on at the same time around the gold rush? Yeah. Their property is tied to them. So there has to be a legal theft per se, that it has to be fraud, but it appears legal on the sheet to make the historical transition. appear authentic. But you got to catch it. Listen up.
Frisco, but Frisco was a cold, cold gold rush for a specific reason. Go ahead, champ.
Yes, sir. And that coincides right around the time of the California genocide. And the same way they took the victims of the Holocaust during World War II and gave that the reparations and everything to a different group of people themselves. They did the same thing with those Pan American people, Pan Asian people that came over.
They feared it. They flipped it.
On the west side, reminded me of like the men in the high castle, how they came from both sides, bro. And,
Oh, that one map where they subdued both sides of the states. Go ahead, because you go
also
ahead.
looking like the Louisiana Purchase in the U.S. Naval flood maps. Yes, sir.
Right. And you also know if you do your
Also looking like the U.S. Naval flood maps. Listen up.
research on Wells Fargo, that the Asian community on the West Coast were the first with that, so they were doing a lot of trans.
Now, Taj, did you stumble across Wells Fargo and the Chinese and the Japanese? That's going to be a doozy.
Exporting gold back to the East Coast. Go ahead.
Right, and then the guy, George Long, he was with the post offices, and like yesterday, you was talking about the safety deposit boxes. That's where everybody was depositing their boxes in the post
At
office.
the post.
At the post office.
And that's why it was so much gold that was on the ships.
And that's why it was so much gold on the ship. Press 1. Right there. You hear that? I'm going to go back. Very important. Very, very important. I don't know if Taj knew he said that. I don't even know. But that's, the people were at the post office. So that's why it was so much gold on the ship. That doesn't make any sense unless, you feel me? So let's go back and listen. Very important.
Right, and then the guy, the Purchase in the U.S. Naval flood maps. Yes, sir.
Right. And you
All
also
this we
know if
talked
you do your
about.
research on Wells Fargo,
All of this we talked about. Boom, 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 boom.
that the Asian community on the West Coast were the first with that, so they were doing a lot of transporting gold back to the East Coast. Go ahead.
Right, and then the guy, the George Long, he was with the post offices, and like yesterday, you was talking about the safety deposit boxes. That's where everybody was depositing their boxes in the post
At
office.
the post
And that's why
office.
it was so much gold that was on the ships. The postal wars.
Were the post office only able to operate offshore?
That's a good question.
That's a. You hear that? That's the question. Offshore bankers.
Boxes. That's where everybody was.
Claimed this direct and moved it right. This is insane. This is
With that, so they were doing a lot of transporting gold back to the East Coast. Go ahead.
Right, and then the guy, the George Long, he was with the post offices, and like yesterday, you was talking about the safety deposit boxes. That's where everybody was depositing their boxes in the post
At
office.
the post
And that's why
office.
it was so much gold that was on the ships. The postal wars.
Were the post office only able to operate offshore?
no. The banks were. Their banks were. Our post office was the bank. Wells Fargo is placing itself as a bank. but it's more like a federal government bank that's always in debt. The real postal service, the real postal, non-federal, not federal because federal is offshore bank, all that. Damn, they just flipped it. That's all they did. They stepped into probably while they were in that perilous state. They just changed roles from workers to they were probably stealing all that gold.
That's where everybody was depositing their boxes in the post
at
office.
the post
And that's why it was so much gold that was on the ships.
The post office isn't under admiralty. Explain to me what that means, champ.
The postal wars.
Were the post office only able to operate offshore?
That's a good question. I know something to do with like the zip codes and stuff like that. But I would assume so.
How else
Those
would you
would be
get
like
all of the people's
But-
information? Everybody's. That's the real. Owning them will be gold forever because it's reproducing itself, and you can hold them as collateral and use their resources as the collateral for bigger loans. So it's an ever-ending debt slave ship. Exactly what the founding fathers envisioned.
Like my brain is going crazy, but
It would be like a ship, like a ship, like the how can I say it? Like
Wells Fargo.
like a township.
Look, somebody
or
said Wells Fargo
Look,
was
like a
also
township.
a post office. Go ahead.
What did you mean by this? What you mean by this?
Well, that's why it's a bank.
Yeah.
That's why it's a bank. Because the post office is a bank.
That goes back into sister cities.
and they take the deposits, and that's also how
Bingo!
they like offer the. Yeah,
But watch this.
That's the post office only able to operate offshore.
that's a good question. I know something to do with like the zip codes and stuff like that. But I would assume so.
Those would be like lighthouses. But like my brain is going crazy. But
See, like that's what I said. Lighthouse.
It would be like a ship, like a ship, like the how can I say it? Like
Wells Fargo.
like a township.
Look, somebody
or
said Wells Fargo was also a post office. Go ahead. Well, that's why it's a bank.
Yeah.
That's why it's a bank. Because the post office is a bank.
and they take the deposits, and that's also how
Bingo!
they like offer the. Yeah,
That's where they get the.
That's how they got
See,
your
they
name
taking
and your
all the
address and who
deposits.
you are.
yeah, bro. Yeah, and that's the fractionalized, and that leads into like the fractionalized.
They parcel the banks parceled you out, but fuck,
banking, where they able
private-
to.
Turned it into private.
they allow foreign private governments, and the post office assumed the position as king. We're dealing with an interchangeable postmaster or something of that.
Banking. They turned. Oh, the U.S. Marshal.
Look,
Oh my fucking God.
they outsourced it. They outsourced their security.
The fractionalized banking, and they borrow
And look,
they borrow off of the deposits.
they borrowed off of the deposit. The only way you can do that is you murder all of them. They borrowed off the deposits. After the genocide, they borrowed. I brought y'all the actors who's assuming the role. These are your Nazi concentration genocide massacreists here in government at the time, switching roles and everything. They borrowed off of what was stolen. And they borrowed off of you.
And they able to give out loans based off.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. They borrowed off of the deposit. I was saying last night, you know what kept me up, Taj? I was like, they held that money.
What's that?
They held that money underwater. They held that money
See,
underwater.
if you're
They held
under
that. And I was just
maritime
like,
law,
I don't know
you're
what that means.
underwater. See what I'm saying? You're submerged. So as long as the gold stay underwater, under the control of the Holy See, you'll forever be indebted to. The gold and the resources and the people are all underwater for a reason. So they can salvage you legally. We're talking Magna Carta. You're talking Sescu v. Trust. So they can use you and how do you even explain that to simple folk? You are submerged in law. Yeah, you're submerged. You're not literally in a whale. It's that they're using metaphors and myths to keep your mind in being trapped by metaphysical thoughts. Your laws and stuff is hitting in your damn metaphysical daydream. All your whole riddles and shit is in the story. I'm gonna just be 100 with you. The picture on the screen with the stagecoach. I don't even know how tall those grown ass people is, but they gotta look like ants when they get off that stagecoach and go in that office over here on my book. Now hold up. See, now my eye twitching. I'm a cold nigga. I can swear that nigga holding that damn streams. If he get off that whatchamacallit, he gonna be about the size of the kneecap of that damn horse or in my butt. But anyway, that's neither here or there. My whole thing is to find out where the gold went. And why was it in billions and billions? And it was really in pounds and in francs. I screenshotted this for the classroom on The Man in the High Castle. Look what it say. It say, the right is coming to liberate San Francisco. Resist your Negro overlords. People of San Francisco. Press 1. Huh? Just when they was passing out that propaganda. No, like damn. So we're kind of like lost in, again, metaphysical time and space, time immemorial, storylines after storylines, and the theft, the Scooby-Doo ass theft happened right in front of your face in history. There's a historical account for that shit. Literally. These ain't the good guys of Wells Fargo. These niggas, the Western Union, these are the bank robbers. You looking at after the destruction. You're not looking at nothing else. You're looking at motherfuckers leaving with stagecoaches and stagecoaches and stagecoaches of gold again. Who had the coaches at this time? The same people who was changing laws at the time. The Mormons, the Latter-day Saints. Told you. That nigga Kev a cold brother. Damn. Same people, bro. Who did what? Took law in their own hands and created what? And gave out what? What were they doing? The Latter-day Saints at the time? Yes, that's who you're looking at. They're only allowed to, from what I'm looking at here, I want to say something, but I don't want to jump ahead of myself. You know, just looking back at electricity and cars and photography and things of that nature, there's a lot going on, and it seems like these people been writing these things since the beginning of time. They don't give a fuck if cars are invented or not. They got horses and carriages, bro. You dealing with at the time propagandists that was cruel to our people. So you can kind of see the whole coup d'etat if you follow the money. And I think the money was being ran on the railroads. That's why Carnegie and who had it? Who had the railroad? J.P. Morgan. When did J.P. Morgan have the railroad? You see what I'm saying? You got to watch for their stories and start saying, wait a minute. Remember, you're missing this whole time. You're supposed to be believing you're an African. Press what? You're supposed to be believing you were a slave. You ain't even supposed to be thinking about no damn J.P. Morgan running a rail system. So, how was the other guy, the first? Wait a minute. How was? Hey, where's Taj? What's his name? How was he the first? That's what I was saying. The stagecoach. When did that come into play? After the railroad, because I heard steam engines was progress in the world. That's what I heard coming up. Combustion changed the world. So things aren't adding up. Combustion, bro. Yeah, Butterfield. So when did Butterfield? I'm gonna check that info you sent me on Discord. I'm sending. When did that come all into the picture? But all of this information is needed. That's why. Let me see. James Fitz Jr. and Stockbroker and Corporate. Again, more characters. That Article 36. Black Friday. I see what you sent. And you said Jubilee Gym. Tell me about Oh, you forgot to tell me about Jubilee Gym. Well, you moved too fast. That's why you moved too fast. You went way up some damn way. I gotta remember. This nigga look like John Adams or some damn body. So let's go to Daniel Butterfield, you said. Okay. 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 After working for American Express, bingo. Bingo. Hold up, y'all. Bingo. Hmm. Hmm. Co-founded by his father, Butterfield served in the Civil War. That's the war against black people, where he was soon promoted, and that's not way back in the day. That's the Great War. That's the war that murdered millions. How many people died in the Great War in World War One? That's what you're talking about right there. See, if you disguise the genocide in war, you can steal everything. Press one. Now, peep what I'm saying here. Now, y'all ready to go? Hit that like button and subscribe and hit that cash app. My cash tag is Gills Gang. Now, watch this. I like when my brain do this because this is one pivotal moment. Go gadget super brain. So the Civil War, the Great War, World War One, and World War Two was so huge they had to call it 4 different wars. Damn it! Press one. I'm on my Steve Coakley. They had to call it. It was. They had to call it 4 different wars. That's how big this motherfucking war was. And they call it the Revolution, the Civil War, World War One, and World War Two, and anything after that. But it's always been the war on you, African Americans. That's the war. So they heroes in World War One and the Great War and all this. That's how long it took. Decades and decades and decades of consistent war and plunder. And in war, they can daydream that this was somehow a righteous cause, but it was nothing more than an Adolf Hitler style genocide, destruction, and they mask you as an Indian with an Indian head long time ago when this happened. When it really just happened, not too long ago. But so they like to disguise that the Indian set genocide with you. They like to disguise, the dudes they went off to war, they died at sea, they never came home, and that type of shit. See, if you're thinking of it as a war, their kids are being raised to think, oh, that was World War One. They died, man. Them Japanese and them Adolf Hitler, man. That's all they know. But if they knew the truth, they'll be like, damn, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be here. How do you get over that? But we'll talk about that. That's what realization is. It's just not for us. It's for everybody. Because everybody's taking part in this deception, I will call it. No damn Butterfield. So he served as brigadier and general wounded at Gaines Mill while recuperating. Where's Gaines Mill? Sometimes known as the Battle of Chickahominy River, took place in 1862 in Boone County, Virginia. They just fighting all over the place. He commanded a division at Frankensburg. That sounds like some German shit. And then became General Joseph Hooker's chief of staff for the Army of Potomac. Look, who in a goddamn TP? Look, both sharing credit for improved morale and responsibility for the. Listen, none of that shit even makes sense. American officers. This is the Civil War is nothing more. All is just genocide. That's all it is. I don't see it being nothing else. He later received. Look at George Washington flag right here. Press 1. The Medal of Honor. Hit that like button and subscribe. So while y'all thinking 1890, oh my goodness. Carnegie owned what? What did Carnegie own? Steel mills all over the place after the takeover. So how did J.P. Morgan go from a worthless banker to a super quadrillionaire and become one of the richest families on earth? Well, the families, the do or die families, and the czars back home, who they are, they just funded it by stealing it. They sent their people here as workers to steal things and get good jobs. And they stole it. They were still, and they got good jobs in subservient positions. That's how good this nation is. 424-209-9506. And just like they were doing in the High Castle, being underground over there at Disney, high tech place where they can steal some shit and hide underground at the local amusement parks. Ain't no telling where. I'm still not sure where they pulled off this great concentration camp thing, but the gold, yes, the superconductor to the post office stole the gold. The subcontractors to exactly. That's what I was saying, C. Mosley. That's what I was saying. The subcontractors who are in power today, Wells Fargo, Chase, J.P. Morgan, Manhattan, Lloyd's of London, City of London, Swiss banking, offshore accounts. You feel me? Swiss bank accounts and all that goes with that. Wake up. Give it to the German Mormons in Utah. Well, there you have it. The German Mormons in America are Jewish. Who learn English. Fact, it's just Jewish people who learn English. These are Russian, Ukrainian people who like, hey, how are you? And that's okay. The thing is, truth is what matters. You got whole families who lineage go all the way back pre-Civil War, pre-you, and you're using their family's tombstones as heirlooms to say you were here in the 1500s or something. It's like way out of control. And it's time we get to the meat and potatoes of that. And that's why we're here. 424-209-9506. Let me go here real quick. Ali thought he was going to get me with the fine time to be alive shit again. Press 1. Oh, it's the best time to be alive. Where, sir? Where is your work, Ali? Press 1. You got to show it's the best time to be alive. Now, a lot of people don't even know what a Jubilee is, let alone Jim Crow. And a lot of people ain't even heard the two names together. But hey, you got to do it. Taj sent me this. From Circus, Jubilee Jim. From Circus Traveler to Wall Street Rogue, the remarkable life of Colonel Fisk Jr. Who the fuck is this? I told you there was a circus. What fucking character will play Jubilee Jim at that time? They whole program is a fucking circus, fam, and you gotta wake up. We keep going over characters on top of characters on top of characters. Now we got Jubilee Jim. Who is this, Taj? You sent me there. Who the fuck is Jubilee Jim? Because you know who this looked like to me, sir. I ain't gonna say who it looked like to me. But why Jubilee? What is the purpose of Jubilee Jim, sir? What's the purpose of this guy? Press 1. Is he like important? Because we know Jim Crow laws was enacted. Was Jim Crow laws enacted around the time of Jubilee Jim? Or what about Roosevelt? Hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know something. Where DJ? DJ, where your homework? Hold on, Tosh. Let me put you on. DJ, where your homework? Ooh, shit, I ain't even ate breakfast today. It's time to eat, y'all. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air. What up?
Peace, Kev. It's Tosh calling in about Jubilee Jim.
Yeah, tell me about this guy. What's up with you?
Jim Fisk.
Huh?
That's Jim Fisk. That's the guy that was speculating on the gold and was manipulating the prices with the younger Butterfield, with Daniel Butterfield.
Oh, so he's a money manipulator. He's a Lloyd. He's a Lloyd because all they do is manipulate currencies by manipulating the cost of minerals. Indeed.
Just like like George Soros. He was like the George Soros back then. That was trying to.
He's a speculator. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be worth this. Or this is gonna be worth this back home. This is gonna be worth this.
Yeah, and Jubilee Jim, just before the Jubilee, like remember we was working on the Jubilee Day. The year before the Jubilee is when he was assassinated by, you know what I mean, by way of a lover's quarrel. You know what I mean? So he kind of looked like President Chester Arthur as well, who was a president all in at the same time period.
He looks like who?
Chester Arthur. President Chester Arthur. I think he was just before Grover Cleveland.
The one who gave the money to
yes, sir.
To who did go?
Yes, sir.
Who did go?
He gave it to J.P. Morgan Chase.
He gave.
You know, J.P. Morgan. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, but it's just funny. Okay. So you telling me the guy who looks like Chester Arthur, the president, gave the money, who kind of resembles Grover Cleveland. Yeah, gave the money to J.P. Morgan.
They all look like each other.
He gave the gold. Who did he give the gold to?
He gave it to J.P. Morgan.
Okay, then.
Remember the syndicate. The syndicate appears to be the B Corps, who also have the St. George's Cross as their logo.
Yes.
But it also could be Mullis. Mullis is the one that George Louis Gillespie is also the fake George Louis Gillespie is a part of, and also has all those guys like Butterfield and Nathaniel P. Banks.
So one person can be playing multiple roles of different positions of power at the time. You're just assuming different characters, lining up for photos. Because the cover story must be told. So he of course, would have to put himself there. But this is incredible.
Indeed. That's what I was saying last night, man. I just got going, like started seeing it and started realizing it go back to like the Valley of Shenandoah. A lot of the people that were involved in that. And it's like you're saying, all the wars are one great big war.
Yes.
And all of these dudes that was supposedly fighting against each other, they were all together
Yes.
during the Mexican-American War,
Exactly.
which was a part of that California genocide, because California was supposedly a part of Mexico at that time, and that's when they came and they overtook the you know what I mean, the native, what they called the native people, and that's when they brought in like the Asians and tried to say that's who they took it from, but no, they didn't take it from them. They took it from George.
Right. Well, they took, of course, and they took it from the people of the land, which are all what you would call the Victorians.
Indeed.
Not just George. It's these are the people of, and they genocided them and took their belongings, and it took their clothes and shoes. It's just crazy to think militarily that they conquered these people and placed them, rounded them up and placed them on railroads and sent them somewhere never to return.
That's the concentration camps. They sent like they said was going on over in Europe.
Bingo. So they sent them. It was concentration camps all over the Americas at this time.
Yes, sir. Like, as you showed us in the
Carnegie
past.
and all of these dudes, in my opinion, were running incinerators. I'm not talking about
incinerators at the U.S. Steel. At the U.S. Steel.
At the U.S. There you go. At the U.S. Steel companies. And they
had to merge the iron, the Fe, the iron with the carbon to make the steel. And that's what they used to be able to pretty much build the infrastructure of this country.
Well, they didn't have to they just murdered them. That's the scientific.
No, I'm saying they hide it. That's how they hate it.
That's how they hid the genocide. Is they hid them in the Reconstruction steel. So it's DNA in old America. America is literally built off the blood of African Americans. Genocide.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Literally.
What'd you say?
Literally.
Yeah, everything after the Reconstruction. Black people was being put on trains and sent to the incinerators, one after another, burning their bodies up, sent to the gas, kill them, throw their bodies in the incinerator. Terminator 2, where did they go? At the end. Where did Arnold Schwarzenegger go?
Into the molten lava.
What'd he say? I'll be back.
Indeed.
Facts.
Indeed.
Facts.
It can. That's why I was saying about the I'll take it off. That's why I was saying the Reconstruction had to do with the New Deal and the WPA.
Well, of course they had to get new gold for that. The losses, allegedly losses, but it was just a ploy, because we all know that the panics were all manipulated by its own stockbrokers in the federal system. It was just a ploy because they already had the gold. Once they went to war and the world started panicking and stuff like that, boom, 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 they went on a whole death camp rampage.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it gave all of their property and land to its citizens. So the indentured workers became the landowners and the white people, and now they got names and banks is right and all these. This is all built up by the military. United States is a federal military. Yeah. They used everything after the whole. This is why this moment is pivotal, and this is during the erasing of our lineage. You feel me? The mid 1800s.
He went out real quick.
I said this is the erasing of one's lineage during this time, mid 1800s, 1900s, stuff like that. This is the total genocide and whitewashing and time changing events that was going on at the time as they conquered estate per estate, meaning California, the South, all as they conquered the teachings became what they were. But you are eradicated from that history. And it's made to look like Spaniards in California and the missions and all of this. And it's like no African Americans and no like organic people of the land. It's only Indians, Spaniards, Asians, and so-called white people who, and all of y'all are foreigners. You got me?
Indeed. I'll follow you 100% now.
So it's like, damn. They just, how do you hide 300 million people in incinerators? Put them on trains.
Yeah.
Use gases, take them to work. They never come home. Remember all them people who did life back in the day? What happened to them that went to prison? What happened to all those people? Last week, only movie we know is Live. We know the movie Life.
Right.
What happened to the real people who were put into these internment camps? Had to be millions, hundreds of thousands at a time. Boom, boom. You know how jail is today? Niggas going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, but never coming out. Only person coming out is that pure name, a new name going to Washington. That's the time. That's the listen to me, Taj. That's the time. That's the Flash. That's the time machine. I mean, that's the Underground Railroad. That's the Flash. That's the dimension shift right there. Coming from over there to over here. That's the opening.
Got you.
What I mean?
Got you. Like it's like the Manhattan or the Philadelphia experiment.
Or the Big Bang.
Melding the the man with the machine, pretty much, or the man with the minerals.
So
and at the same time, the flash from the atomic bomb. Yeah.
Well, the Flash period. That's the Flash point, allowing them access.
Got you.
Per person who's being executed.
Got you. Like the scene when they were walking through the portal. I understand.
No, bingo. Now, how were they able to walk through the portal?
They were able to come through the portal at the gates.
Right.
And that's
but
another place where they were buried.
Check this
like
out.
The Washington.
Who were they using?
Monument?
Who were they using to test the portal?
You said who were they using?
Yes.
They were taking the names, but they were giving the names to their family members that were coming over from like Prussia.
Who were they using in the Man in the High Castle for the Flash?
The portals.
To bingo. Who were they using?
Gotta think back.
All right, call back. Who were they using? 424-209. I'm finna tell y'all right now who they was using. 424. They were using prisoners, criminals. Remember they had them chained up in the beginning, and then they had through the portal, and they'd be fried. The only thing that'd be left of the prisoner was their dog tag, their names, who they were. You take that back to the boom. You can always identify them by the dog tag. Press 1. Had them thinking they signing up for war, aliens, or whatever the fuck it is. Whatever it is. I remember the War of the Worlds at the time of World War. So a lot of our people really thought a war was going on when it was really theater on the radio and on television. But I believe that this was all intertwined with one another. And our boys really thought they was dressing up, going to war, getting on battleships about to go. And really they never made it out of gas training, gas mask training. All their belongings was right there. They put them on trains, right about the gas, boom, loading bodies, boom, bodies, trains, gone, bodies, trains, choo choo. Then, when they finished doing all that, and murdering and burning those people up in them infirmaries, and slowing down because you were being genocided and whitewashed. These motherfuckers went and started blowing stuff up like they went to war. Blowing up homes and shit. And flying around and boom. Boom, 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 boom. Filming this shit like GoPro cameras and shit. Talking about the Nazis is down here, but they really blowing up your homeland. The Nazis is down here, and they show pictures of them pointing at maps like this. Like they looking at Nazi bomb sites, but the Nazi bomb sites is your mama, great mama house. Press one. These motherfuckers cold, bro. So while you thinking they did all this in Nazi Germany, I just want you to remember this shit. That's you. That way they genocide on you by making these elaborate stories that don't make no motherfucking sense. Hundreds of millions of African Americans were murdered in the early 1900s, mid 1800s, after the coup d'etat and the federal government seized. Before this government seized everybody's lands and allowed them over to this country on federalized lands, they were just murdering, slaughtering, just destruction. I put the Israel star on black people yesterday in Germany, then flipped that and said them as Americans. Press one. I am the shit. Coffee and Kush TV. You on the air? What up?
Hey, this is Chris.
What up, Chris?
I think I got another character for the Rico.
For what Rico?
For the Rico that I guess you want to say the 50-year jubilee that we're coming up on, and all the characters that's been involved in.
Why would I? But if it's a character, it's not real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had put in the chat a name. Amanda had told me to call it in, so I just want to call it in and speak on it.
All right, what name is that, sir? And who is this?
It's B.B. Comer. He was a Braxton Bragg Comer. He was the governor of Alabama in the time period that you speak of. And he was a governor from 1907 to 1911. And this governor was involved in railroad reform. He was involved in plantation, cotton, banking, all of the above that you're speaking of right now. So that's how I brought the name up. And not only that, and not only that, he was involved in early education that you also speak of, and he has ties to J.P. Morgan as well, which you also speak of. Now, he's not directly connected to J.P. Morgan. There's a guy by the name of Dumont Clark that was a banker at this time, and he was connected to J.P. Morgan. But, you know, listening to the ideological subversion and from 2 years ago to right now, just culminating all the information that you've been putting out. And I said, oh,
let me check on the area that I live in. And this is what I came up with, man. And I mean, like I said, I'm trying to connect how you say what's missing gold, missing lock boxes, and that type of thing. Now, I'm not that deep into it. I'm just really having an enlightening moment right now. Just seeing like, damn, these people are tired. Like,
Well, they're all part of the characters you're naming are all part of Title 36. So you might want to connect with Taj if you want to be memorized some more. Taj studies Title 36 and all of these characters within that spectrum. So that's cool. But what you think about the extermination programs of the American blacks at these different infirmaries going around that's large enough to have to be like concentration camps? Go ahead.
Well, I'll say this: the area that I'm from, we all got places called quarters. You live in the white folks' quarters. You live in the black folks' quarters. You live in this quarter and that quarter. That sounds like people that were sectioned off to be exterminated years ago. And I mean, we have railroad tracks that come through. I mean, we have dam systems that run through this town. So really, it just made me, oh shit, let me wake up and look and see what's going on around me. Like,
well, blessings to you.
Something I would even be interested in. So
right
I believe in the Holocaust. I believe that there's a genocide taking place. I don't believe in abortion. I don't believe in, doing people harm just because of who they are and what they are. But like you're saying, being in school and you skip so many time periods, but all you hear about yourself is, oh, you was a slave, or you was, doing this, you was making arrowheads from rocks and so on and so forth.
Come on, bro. My man said making arrowhead from rocks, y'all. Go ahead, champion.
I live, the area I live in is like a riverbed, creek bed.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I just want to say, man, just keep it up, and I'm gonna keep doing my little research when I can. I am a busy man. I got 4 kids. I'm an engineer.
That's right.
I do my little notes when I can.
That's right.
I just say, man, keep up the good work.
We gonna keep going, man.
I'm gonna keep speaking. I'm gonna keep speaking when I can as well.
Well, God bless your speaking ability, because we need it, bro. Thank you, champ.
Thank you,
my man. Yeah, so that's important. If you telling me you was Indian, but you really was dressed like this in the 1800, what the fuck type of history are you missing? Press 1, because you not telling me nothing. If we dress like this in the 1730s and shit, that mean in the 1700s. You feel me? And what happened to all of their homes, to the Adams family? Press, what happened to them? Well, I can only project a theory. I can only project a theory. In my scientific method, me and my students are like X-Men. I'm Professor X. Press 1. And we trying to solve the riddle of where the hell these niggas went and where these niggas came from. If you got a problem with that, take it up with HR. Press 1. Take it up with HR, damn it. Because we got to find out how we were placed in these alternate so-called universes, once again, where we don't know what the fuck happened. We don't know what y'all did. But I'm starting to get a bigger picture. How y'all end up with these people clothes? This is the first 48. How y'all end up in the movies with the Jewish people? You know how they ended up? You know what the Jews had to do? Take off all their clothes and go strip before they went in the press. What? No, you don't hear me. These people had cars. Why y'all lying to me? If Roosevelt had a car, these people had a car. Welcome to KevRow University. If them motherfuckers had a, these people had cars. Facts. How y'all write these people out of history and say y'all invented shit after y'all genocided these people all out and created a whole new theory of time, added a whole 1,000 years to your natural birth here in the Americas? How did this happen? Press one. How did this happen?
Awesome.
Kev is too bright, y'all. Y'all fucking with a real one. Coffee and Kush TV. You on the air? What up?
Hey, what's up, Kev? This is Ease Your Mind in the chat classroom.
Ease your mind. What's up, champion? Nice to meet you, brother.
All right. So I was sitting here pondering on, okay, we're talking about gold. And my thing is, why would they want the gold so bad? So I did research to see what are the uses of gold and silver. So when I came across gold, it said, let me read this for you. Gold is a vital part of numerous electrical and electronic components. It has superior corrosion, resistance, outstanding electrical conductivity, and excellent wear resistance when alloyed with other metals, making it perfect for electronic industrial applications.
Yes.
Okay, so the most notable application of gold in electronics involves electroplated coatings on contacts and connectors. Other uses include gold bonding wires, solderable overlays for printed circuit boards and hybrid circuits. And it says gold can be recovered from electronics, devices, appliances like smartphones,
Facts.
microwaves, televisions, and computers.
Facts.
So, and when I get to silver, it says, today silver is invaluable to solder and brazing alloys, batteries, dentistry, glass coating, LED chips, medicine, nuclear reactors, photography, photovoltaic energy, that's solar, RFID chips for tracking parcels or shipments worldwide.
Go ahead.
Semiconductors, touchscreen, water purification, wood preservations, and many more. So what I was thinking is they want us to think that the gold was only used for money.
Right.
When in actuality, they're using it to make bombs and all this stuff.
Or this is no, it's really just not to kill you off. It's really just technology.
Right. But the way
It's
on people, right?
Well, let's just say warheads or something. Try to remain correct. You know, in your language, but that's why I said technology. Just technology. That's all you gotta say. Technology.
Right.
So, so do they use technology against people in war? Yes, but in this sense, technology as a whole, radios, TVs, microwaves, nuclear reactors, dealing with power reactors, more things than just wearing around our necks and stuff like that. But go ahead.
Right. So, and then going back to how you were showing us the World Fairs, what the buildings look like they destroyed. So that tells me some of these buildings had gold in it.
They probably, but to me, probably, but I'm talking about the genocide right now. Whether they had gold in those buildings, that looked just like a circus, like a traveling circus. The gold are in the banks. They're in the treasury. They're in vaults. They're in lock boxes. To me personally, the World Fairs are more like concentration camps. Stops along the way where the military get out and switch and dump bodies and all that type of shit. Other than that, is not really. Other than the theatricals, because there's no black people at these fairs where all these white people at. Go ahead.
Right. And then I was thinking, did the Victorians, did they actually use the gold and stuff for money when it said that money is the root of all evil?
Well, they did use gold is money, isn't it? They did use gold as money or silver or something, currency. They didn't say money was evil. It's money is the root of causes man to do some of the most undesirable things, like where we are now with technology, looking at what gold is worth and silver is worth, rather what it can be used for. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. No, that's all I wanted to touch on as far as why they were running so bad in the uses.
I mean, because it's why wouldn't they want it? You got it.
Right, but and then if they take it over,
why wouldn't they want it? They want possession of that. They see what it's doing. They see you.
Right. It's a way to control the people.
It's not. It's a way to have revenue, sir. It's a monetary thing as well. It's currency.
Right.
And you talking? Are you like? What are you talking about? Like, it's a way to control the people. Why are you such in dire need to say they in need to control you when the control is in the mind? You're not under control unless you want to be right now. Yeah. It goes back to say it again.
It goes back to God's laws.
Tell you what.
What are your intentions on doing things?
Work, going to work and owning things and being prosperous and passing my shit down to my kids. That shit ain't hard. This ain't no conspiracy.
Right. Exactly. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But in some evil hands, how would it work for them?
The same way it'll work if a nigga keep asking questions and don't got none. No, it ain't gonna work. He gonna get to a definitive, and the other nigga ain't gonna never get there. Right. He ain't got no love in his heart, and this nigga ain't got the courage to stand up for nothing good anyway, to take blessings from God himself or nothing. So this nigga in the state of peril in black, and this other nigga over here ain't got no love in his heart, ain't got no spirit of the law in him. So that's perfect. One nigga is perfect to be a criminal with no understanding of law, and this nigga is perfect for stealing everything because everybody gonna hold him accountable. Go ahead.
Right. No, that's all I wanted to basically touch on.
Yeah, the genocide though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the extermination of millions and millions of black people.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's true. And looking at the world fairs that you showed us, they had a fax machine. They had these different electronics.
Who was running the camps?
The Nazis.
How you know?
Because that's what you taught.
So all right, so you know that's perfectly said. What's the name of those different brigades that were running those camps, sir? That's a good question.
I have to go in my notes. I can't.
Remember that. I'm gonna tell you again. Remember the Timberwolves. No, because you're right. You're right. But the Timberwolves, the SS,
right?
The double lightning bolts. You got to remember that because when we bring these pictures back up, it's gonna become clear. Like, damn, that's them. These are the same people they called Hitler's Youth, the Mountain, the Volunteers. Yeah. All of the baseball games and teams that y'all see, those are brigades of different armies coming to invade.
Okay.
To take from Indians to colonels.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Redskins to Yellow Boys or whatever teams is out there. But the Boy Scouts, somebody said it in the chat room, the Boy Scouts are German-born, German-raised, American adopted.
Right. Gotcha. And those are the ones that became the presidents and all the people in high places in the government.
But not only that, but now listen, look at Taj in the chat room. Taj is telling you the answer. He's saying Operation Werewolf, Gladius. So when you go to Google,
I wasn't paying attention to it.
That's all right. That's all right. But that's where your brain want to be, right there. Operation, because that's where we at. Operation Werewolf.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna go on back of the class and let you continue.
My man, see you in a minute, champ. That's a student right there. He coming back with more work. But yeah, the Boy Scouts, y'all, you gotta remember, all this is to bring these people into complete submission. If white people was dressed up like this, you would think these is Queen Elizabeth's cousins, Dukes of Yorks, and shit like that. Press 1. But we think so low of ourselves, we'll never know who we truly are. If you don't begin, your mind don't start adjusting to a different reality, because that old shit ain't working. It seems somebody was put into a Holocaust and transported right the fuck up out of here. History was changed. Dates was changed. Pope Pius became born way back then. But his name is Woodrow Wilson. And goddamn, press 1. And all of these people are hidden in history. I feel like I'm in Where's Waldo or some shit. I didn't know my life would turn into Where's Waldo. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air. What up?
How you doing, Kev? It's Thomas from Charlotte.
Thomas from Charlotte, the Carolinas. What up?
Not much. I found something when I was looking through stuff called Georgism, and it sound like what you've been, a lot of stuff you've been talking about.
What? It's called Georgism? That's my crew?
Georgism, it's an economic ideology.
Oh, this is great. Let's.
And the sign for it is some kind of animal, but it say free trade, free land, free men, and it's a campaign button from the 1890s. It's got natural monopoly, economic rent, rights and control of the commons.
That sounds about right.
And resources and other country privileges, intellectual property.
Of course. Is that what it is? Is that what I teach?
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess that's
the
what
other
it
thing
is.
you were talking.
I never had a name for it. You just made that feel good.
Oh yeah, I got some more names for you too.
No, but the way you explained that's real. So KevRow University, Professor Gill specializes in Georgism.
Yes, sir.
I love that. Whatever else you got to say, champ, you got it. You just started a whole new mindset. Carlos said that sounded delightful.
So
go ahead.
We were talking about the post office and the Wells Fargo Bank. I think the other term is called the transfer payment.
Go ahead. Tell me about it. I don't know nothing about it.
It's a macroeconomic and finance transfer payment, also called the government transfer or simple fiscal transfer, is a redistribution of income and wealth by means of the government making a payment without goods or services being received in return. These payments are considered to be non-exhaustive because they do not directly absorb resources or create output. Examples of transfer payments include welfare, financial aid, social security.
There it is. That's the minor trust. It's going into the minor trust. Fuck! I knew some today was a good day. Start from right there. What is it again, champion? Welfare.
Welfare, financial aid, and social security and government subsidies for certain
There you go.
businesses. And then it says these transactions can be both voluntary or involuntary and generally motivated either by altruism of the donor of the malevolence of the recipient. And then I bumped into so many theories, like you were talking about. I found a Theory of Justice by John Royal. Then I also found
Oh, that's important.
I found
The Theory of Justice. Sound quantum. Okay.
Hold on one second. Let's do this all. I found what's this called? VIAF clusters, which is an algorithm. And then I found that another thing they got attached to this is called managing ambiguity in the VIAF. And they got all these things listed, but this kind of reminded me of when we, I think the other week when we were going over, let me open it up.
Take your time. Yeah, you good.
So it basically talks about abstract, but it's like the machine that we were talking about. The machine that's got all the names in it. And I was reading on how it cross-reference all the names and it do all this.
Wait. You talking about wait. What machine got all the names on it? I was daydreaming out per se. But go ahead, say it one more time. What machine is that?
Hold on a second. The VIAF cluster algorithm.
VIAF cluster algorithm had
VIAF cluster.
VIAF cluster. Algorithm.
Yeah, it says the virtual international authority file is built from tens of millions of names represented in more than 130 million authority and biblical records expressed in multiple languages, scripts, and formats. VIAF does not replace the source authority data, but creates something new built upon the relations mined from it. The common use of the VIAF is in the creation of the new local authority records for artists based on information already in VIAF about the entity.
Artificial intelligence.
Then I bumped into the
That is a supercomputer. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And that would calculate. That will narrow down the many possibilities into a set pattern. Like it will identify prophetic events that would be to happen in real time.
If I may jump over to some other topics around the 1887, 1890 that we were going over, I found a bunch of acts that they did around this time. The Army Annual Act of 1887, the Increment of Beneficiary Loans Extension Act of 1886.
There it is. Yes.
The Amendment Act of 1887, Police Disabilities Removal Act of 1887, Consolidation Fund Act of 1887, and then along with that I bumped into Articles 21, 22, and 23. Article 21 says, nothing in this covenant shall be deemed to affect the validity of international engagements such as treaties, arbitration of regional understandings like the Monroe Doctrine for securing the maintenance of peace. Article 22, to those colonies and territories which, a consequence of late war, have ceased to be under sovereignty of the states which formerly governed them and which are inhabited by people not yet able to stand by themselves under strenuous conditions of modern world, there will be applied the principle that well-being and development of such people from a sacred trust of civilization and that the securities for the performance of this trust should be embodied in this covenant. The best method of giving practical effect to this principle is that the tutelage of such people should be entrusted to advanced nations who, by reason of their resources, their experiences, of their geographical position, can be undertaking this responsibility and who are willing to accept it. And this tutelage should be exercised by them as mandatories on behalf of the League. The character of the mandate must differ according to the stage of the development of the people, the geographical situation of the territory, its economic conditions, and other similar circumstances. Certain communities formerly,
I'm right there. I ain't say nothing. I'm fucking listening to you, sir.
Certain communities formerly belonging to the Turkish Empire have reached a stage of development where their existence as independent nations can be provisionally recognized, such to rendering of administration advice and assistance by a mandatory until such time as they are able to stand alone. The wishes of these communities must be principal consideration in this selection of mandatory. Other people, especially those of Central Africa, are not such a stage that the mandatory must be responsible for the administration of the territory under conditions which guarantee freedom of conscience and religion, subject only to the maintenance of public order and morals, the prohibition of abuses such as the slave trade, the arms trade, and the liquor traffic, and the prevention of the establishment of fornications of military and naval bases and military training of natives for other than police purposes and defending of territory, and will also secure equal opportunity for the trade and commerce of members of the League.
Where did you get this from?
So basically, I just stay trying to tap around into the laws and linguistics.
No.
Like,
what is that you're reading?
What is that I'm reading?
Yeah. Send it to my number.
I already did. That's what I'm reading it from. That's why I can't really remember where this came from. I got so much stuff in my phone.
Wait. You sent this to me already?
Yeah, I'm reading it from your text message. The text message I sent to you.
When was this?
I think I sent this yesterday or 2 days ago, maybe 3, June 20th. That was on June 20th, right there. I also found the Woodbridge Company, right? The Woodbridge Company is a holding company based in Toronto. It is a primary investment vehicle for members of the family of Roy Thompson. The Woodbridge Company is connected to another company, Thompson Rooter Sharing Holding Company. But, let me hold on 1 second. So I did come across something that was telling me about this social contract. I'm trying to find that before I step off. Okay, I got so many notes, but I can go back and read some of this Georgism if you want.
Yep.
It says Georgism is concerned with the distribution of economic rent caused by land ownership, land monopoly, pollution rights, and control of the commons, including the title of ownership for natural resources and other contrived privileges, intellectual property, and any natural resources which inherently limited in supply can generate economic rent. But the classical and most significant examples of land monopoly involve the extraction of common ground rent from valuable urban locations. Georgists argue that taxing economic rent is efficient, fair, and equitable. The main Georgia's policy recommendation is a tax assessed on the land, arguing that revenue from a land value tax can be used to reduce or eliminate existing taxes, such as income, trade, or purchases that are unfair and efficient. Some Georgians also advocate for the return of surplus public revenue to the people.
You can use taxes to wipe debt. Go ahead.
Okay. Means of basic income and citizens dividends. The concept of gaining public revenues mainly from land and natural resources privileges was widely popularized by Henry George through his first book, Progress and Poverty, 1879. The philosophical basis of Georgism draws on earlier thinkers such as John Locke, Baruch Spinoza, and Thomas Paine. Economics from Adam Smith and David Ricardo to Milton Friedman and Joseph Stiglitz have observed that a public levy on land does not cause economic inefficiency, unlike other taxes, and land value taxes also has progressive tax effects. Advocates of land value taxes argue that they would reduce economic inequality, increases economic efficiency, remove incentives to underutilize urban my page is cut off on the notes right there.
Well, I tell you what, send me that information on that you just sent me. Send me an email or a message so I can bring it up real fast on my show. Could you do that when you get off the air?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, champion.
Sir,
anything else?
I found the Monopolies of Knowledge, and it's by the Hearst. It's by the Hearst Communication Company, which they took over the I think the San Francisco Gazette, which was definitely George King George wanted his media company, and her communications on everything, including Disney, Netflix, 20% of ESPN.
Yeah, they all come derived from this source.
Yes,
Yes.
A&E Network. The first person was William Randolph Hearst Sr. American businessman, newspaper publisher, politician known for developing the nation's largest chain of media companies. They took over in 1887 the San Francisco Examiner by his wealthy father, Senator George Hearst.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think about all this gold conversation and this cargo, the people, the money, the banks? Let's say the post office and Wells Fargo. What do you think about all
that? It's so much. When you were talking about the pounds, I had found something called shillings.
Shillings, okay.
Shillings and pence, and I had took a picture of it, and it looked like it was pretty big, but it looked like almost like a penny almost. But they were talking about the weight of it, and yeah, I just think nobody really stood a chance to understand this without understanding linguistics, because I thought about it like all these foreigners come here, and you know, they sound different from how we sound. So when they talk, I believe that's how they got away with their wordplay, because of the linguistics, and people just assumed that they were trying to communicate, or maybe they knew what they were talking about or didn't know what they were talking about. I just see the linguistics as almost the most important thing, because when I'm doing my research now, I know when you read and they put the words in blue. When they put the words in blue,
what that mean?
It's pertaining. When they put the words in highlighted in blue, it's pertaining to us, the people, the sovereign.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes they try to include themselves in the blue highlighted word, and then when it's in red, they don't even want to tell you about that person, so you have to go back out and find their name another way, which will still be in there some type of way. And then when you tap on the little small numbers and parentheses that's in blue, it'll tell you some references on books all the way down at the bottom of the page. It's like they hiding all this information.
Or maybe it's there and we don't know how to perceive it.
Well, at one time I could say I didn't, but I believe I do now.
You're kind of stepping that shit up. Me too, man. I'm like even down to like red ink and blue ink, and understanding that is crucial. Because even in the Bible, they say Jesus is in the red ink in the old versions of the scripture. So that means something. That got to be more of an authoritative perception, I guess, from that interpretation. But anything else, champ?
If I can't hurry up and find this social contract, I'm gonna just call back, because the social contract is everything. Like the social contract that they got us under is called soft power. So they made us believe that they the authorities with what's the opposite of soft power? I can't remember what the opposite of soft power is, but they operate in soft power. So every time we see the word administration, agency, union, third, and deputy. Those are all linguistic words that have soft power.
Right.
And through a social contract, they trick us to giving up our consent of the sovereign, and then we beat ourselves by not knowing that. I just found that yesterday. But if I find, I got like.
So if you raise a whole generation in soft power thinking and politics, you got them. They'll just keep teaching their kids along the guidelines. So,
okay, I
what?
think I just pulled it up.
All right. Before you get there, would Adolf Hitler use soft power to come into power and maintain? Could that be used as a spearhead to that form of supremacy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. You got the flow. You got it. I see you just found. I don't want you to lose your thought.
It says the social contract in moral and political philosophy. The social contract is a theory or model that originated during the ages of enlightenment and usually, although not always, concerns the legitimacy of authority of the state or over the individual. Social contract arguments typically are that the individual has consented, either explicitly or tactically, to surrender some of their freedoms and submit to the authority of the ruler or the decision of a majority in exchange for protection of their remaining rights, maintenance of the social order. The relation between natural and legal rights is often a topic of social contract theory. The term takes its name from the social contract, and then they have in French, do contract, social, principles, look like principles, do, droit, politics. A 1762 book by Jean Jacques Rousseau that discussed this concept, although the antecedents of social contract theory are found in antiquity, in Greek and Stoic philosophy, and Roman and canon law. The heyday of social contract was the mid-17th to early 19th century when it emerged as the leading doctrine of political legitimacy. The starting point for most social contract theory is an examination of the human condition absent of any political order, termed The State of Nature by Thomas Hobbes. In this condition, individuals' actions are bound only by their personal power and conscience. For this shared point, social contract theory seeks to demonstrate why rational individuals would voluntarily consent to give up their natural freedom to obtain the benefits of political order.
Hey, you just, oh my goodness.
Then I found some. Then looking down further than this, it says some word called bellum, omnium, contra omnes.
Go ahead, champ. I like where you're going because Carlos Thomas said you're going to need more than that. And you just elbowed him in his head, in his forehead, as soon as you just got finished saying that. So whatever you got to get off your chest, just feel free. Go ahead.
That bellum, the bellum, omnium, contra omnes.
Yeah.
It's a Latin phrase, and it means the war of all against all.
What is this called?
Bellum, omnium, contra, omnes.
Okay. And this is what again?
This is like they motto or they phrase, the war of all against all.
Oh, so this is the war of all wars. This is the war for all the marbles against God Himself. So where is this? When is this written? What the fuck is this?
Well, they definitely got the time and memorial stamp on it. Hold on. Ain't no telling really. It says 1642, 1651. So to me, that means 1842, 1851.
Niggas ain't even going that far. Niggas ain't going on. That sounds like 18.
And so one other thing, right, about the Civil War, right?
Yeah.
So the Civil War is also equivalent to another war called the South Carolina War of the Roses.
Yes.
And,
Wait. Wait. Say that again.
The Civil War, after doing the reading it on all these wars, to me, the Civil War and the War of the Roses, South Carolina, 1881. During that war, they were coming after what's the area? Hazelton, South Carolina, York, South Carolina, and Lancaster, South Carolina, and they were coming after the monarch and the royal family. Right.
Yeah, because that's where the mint is. That's where that's Queen, and that's Queen Charlotte, King. That's what else do you need? That's royal. That's royal land. Go ahead, King.
So along with the
Damn,
War of the Roses,
man.
when you look it up, when they show a flag, they show two flags for two of the families, and one family got the white roses, one family got the red roses, and York, South Carolina could be the same colony or family as like New York. So to me, after they took everything, they put a new on everything.
So the war could have been fought at the Dixie line, South Carolina, North Carolina, but really, wow, wait.
Really, it would fall all up and down the East Coast.
All up and down the East Coast, yeah.
All up and down the East
But
Coast.
but New York will be everything that they taken over, like New England. England must have been an old England and not in Europe either. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was on my IG. I started following a lot of people that's like either dealing with law or in law school.
Yeah.
And when I first pulled up the War of Roses, it came up saying something like the year 14 something or whatever. And then so when the girl posted it on her law page, it said 1881, right? And that's when I knew that was the right one. So I commented on it. And then she was saying, so basically she was asking me, did I know or understand the British history? And I was like, yes, I do. So I typed her this long little paragraph, and basically talking about the British history and what I know. And she deleted her whole page.
No shit.
Yes, sir.
That's how powerful that is.
They don't like us figuring this stuff out either. But it's definitely due time for us to put these puzzle pieces together.
Man, it's time. Like I could feel it. Like damn, that's powerful, right there, champ. That's powerful. To even think that I didn't think about this stuff 4, 5, 10 years ago. Not on this level. I mean, I thought about the post office and it being the first bank. I remember my grandma saying that. Like, yeah, the post office is the first bank. They you can still like get cash, some money orders or some shit. But now I really understand it was the first bank. And the first lock boxes.
A few months ago, and we were talking about King Car Company, which was based in Detroit, Michigan, right?
Ah, yeah.
And so that would be General Motors for the shell company.
Bingo.
So finding this the William Randolph Hearst guy that took over the San Francisco media company, when I looked at the bottom of it, I saw something called King Feature Syndicate Incorporated.
Wow.
And basically, it says this was founded in 1914. And now I know the Federal Reserve was founded in 1913. So everything really started to take off after the 1913, leading up to the First World War I, and then all these titles, acts, and amendments. Then shortly after that, they had the bank. They flip-flopped the bank, and then the bank crisis. And then just more amendments, more titles.
I'm about to research the laws and stuff of the black governed towns and see how closely they are related with the federal invading army's laws and see if we're just fell up under their historical belief system. Well, of course we did with this whole history thing, but I mean, we just really were bred into a Rockefeller style hidden, like, people don't know they're upholding a certain supremacy. I won't even call it white supremacy. I'm gonna call it banking because this is some other shit. This is like devour your own type of shit. This type of shit is devour your own.
After I had watched the Kingsman, the one that came out in 2018, that gave me a good vision on how the plot took off, starting with Prussia and Germany, and then now it makes sense that once they got the conflict going, they just needed King George to enter the war.
Bingo. They need to pull him in.
They need to put him in, and then they formed the European Union.
Yep.
And then I noticed how they backdoored to Queen Charlotte, King George's wife. They backdoored her because, like, her last name is Mecklenburg, right? And then it was a S name like Strelitz. I don't know if I can pronounce that right, but when I was digging, I found they took the Strelitz off and put it's SCHWERIN, but that last name is attached to German,
right,
attaching themselves to Queen Charlotte.
Right. It's all in the pronunciation. It's a German impetuous. Yeah.
Then I also found the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union. And this is called the CFR. It enshrines certain political, social, and economic rights for the European Union citizens and residents into EU law, European Union law. It was drafted by the European Convention and proclaimed on December 7, 2000 by the European Parliament, the Council of Ministers, and the European Commission. However, its then legal status was uncertain, and it did not have full legal effect until the entry into force of the Treaty of Lisbon, Lisbon. And
what date is that on that treaty? The Treaty of Lisbon?
Lisbon.
Oh, Lisbon. Go ahead, champ. You good?
The charter formed part of the Area of Freedom, Security, and Justice (AFSJ) policy EU member states are also bound by the Charter when it engaged in implementation of European Union law. However, Poland has been granted a partial opt-out of enforcement of the CFR in spite of participating in the AFSJ. In contrast, Denmark and Ireland have fully adopted the Charter in spite of having been granted opt-out from the AFSJ General and Partial 1. Eternal security is the act of keeping peace within the borders of a sovereign state or other self-governing territory, generally by upholding the national law and defending against eternal security threats. Responsibility for eternal security may range from police to parliamentary forces and in exceptional circumstances, the military itself.
These are all enemies of the state.
All of them. So all these international organizations, starting with the American Red Cross, Amnesty International, UNESCO International, which that last one, UNESCO, is in close relation to the United Nations. And what's the last one? We already know the Legion. The Legion's men and the Legion's women, the American Red Cross men and women. All of these international companies, organizations.
They have federal contracts.
Yeah, but I think the word federal been scaring us for way too long.
Bro, that's not. It's not scary to me. That's what I was telling somebody earlier, this whole time. I don't mean like boogeyman, Illuminati. I don't want people to think. I just think the government itself. It is part of the octopus tentacles, per se. It's just a part of its laws and the conditions of it.
They got so many treaties, it don't make no sense.
But that's the corporation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They would have corporations. Do Burger King got a treaty with McDonald's?
No.
But Morocco got a treaty with America. It was his first friendship treaty. You know what that sound like to me?
What?
That sound like Burger King wouldn't have a treaty with McDonald's because they got the same resources. But Taco Bell and McDonald's have a treaty. No, you know who have a treaty? Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. They work together.
So,
two corporations, different, hustle in the same space a lot of the time. Yeah, they're good friends. But again, corporations.
And we know that the NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Stop. Wait.
It's a North Atlantic Alliance is an intergovernmental military alliance between 31 member states, 29 European, 2 North Americans, established in the aftermath of World War II. The organization implemented the North Atlantic Treaty, signed in Washington, D.C. on April 4, 1949. NATO is a collective security system. Its independent member states agreed to defend each other against attacks by the third party. During the Cold War, NATO operated as a check on the threats posed by the Soviet Union. The alliance remained in place after dissolution of the Soviet Union and the Warsaw Pact, and had been involved in military operations in the Balkans, the Middle East, South Asia, and Africa. The organization's motto is Animus in Consuelo Liber.
What that mean?
One second. I can't really pull that one up because I got this one like saved in my notes.
I got you. Don't worry about it.
But they got so many. I found one called the Rambo Agreement.
No, not the Rambo agreement. What is this one?
Well, I might be saying it wrong, but it's like Rambo, and then it's after the O is UILLET.
Right.
It's a proposed peace agreement between the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia and the delegations representing the ethnic Albanian majority population of Kosovo.
Kosovo?
Yeah, Kosovo.
Ukraine and shit over there again. Kosovo was with Bill Clinton and them. But go ahead.
So another thing is how much land King George ruled or whatever, right?
All right.
When you look like at the globe, he ruled Australia, Vietnam, Japan, what they call them little islands, with an M.
Oh, the Madagascar?
Malaysia.
Oh, okay. My bad. I got too creative. I went for the $1,000 and jumped too far ahead. Go ahead.
So to me, the what was that? World War II.
Yeah.
World War II is a coup over there too, because when you look at the flags and you look at all the information, they try to call all the royal sovereigns. They try to call all of them belligerent when they write it up and when you read it. And when I looked at the flag, it had the Japan flag up there. But to me, Japan must be like a nation just accepting those shoes, like you said.
No. Japan at the time is an underground network. Germany, Nazi and shit, all this stuff was all underground. It had to be underground. These are all workers. Made to look like this was some high power shit. But all of these networks was underground. They couldn't be on the surface with this shit.
So I got a question.
Go ahead.
The Vietnam War. So was that like a trick to get the American soldiers over there to fight the blacks that was already there?
No. The Vietnam War was there to eradicate the African Americans. It was to get them to sign up and go to that land and fight in them jungles and never go past a certain part. You ever see Tom and Jerry? And remember, Jerry knew how far the damn dog can go. Remember?
Yeah.
And he will draw a line right there and say that motherfucking dog can't get past this line. So he gonna do everything he can. And to the contrary, the same thing on both sides. So just like North and Korea will sit there and stare at each other all day, that's how Vietnam was. They'd go put them, it was a slaughterhouse. They'd go put them face to face, but never able to advance a certain. That was just to eradicate them. Get them up out of there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the women, they went over there, they was all infested with disease and all this other shit. So it was fucked up. Brothers came back fucked up because back then you had a lot of revolutionary shit going on. They was calling black people communists. They was calling niggas communists for political views. And so when you go back and listen to the language of the Cold War, who are they really calling communists? You know what I'm saying? And then look at the Black Panther Party at the time. I just played a video yesterday when they was talking about Germany. I said, them look like Black Panthers. And sure enough, they was. So it's just propaganda to me playing both sides. But go ahead, King, you got it.
I found some other stuff basically pertaining to all the amendments that they did. It's so many, man. It's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stuff. I see something called the AB Trust, the abandonment of residents.
Really?
1031 exchange under civics, the 401k, abortion, absentee ballot, abrogate, adjustment of status, administrative agency, admiralty and maritime powers, advocacy of illegal action, affidavit, alien tort statute, alien charge.
All you say all these are amendments and shit.
Yeah.
I know Taj probably on this shit.
I'll give you a call back. I want to look through my notes again, and then anything else.
Man, I'm right here, champion. My man, good looking.
All right.
Man, fuck with it. Coffee and Kush TV. 424-209-9506. Oh, man, he made me order my food. He made me order my food because I'm like, man, I'm hungry. But oh boy got the most perfect mindset approaching this. You gotta have an open mind. Because again, going back to even he mentioned France. This is why I mentioned we operating in francs and billion and pounds. We're not operating in dollar amounts because we didn't give. France doesn't operate in dollar amounts. So we operated in pounds of gold or some shit. In my grand theory. Had to. That's just too much gold per person. That goes back to this map with the dolls playing. That's just too much gold per person. This right here is a lot. It's a lot of confusion in what he was saying. Like the if you're not paying attention to those amendments and shit like that, and what was coming into play at that time, you won't see it. Now, if you was put on a dog's roll, and this is the dog's plan, and they ended up with all the money that you lent them never to repay, and my man just proved to you they started NATO in 49, right here. But they started Israel when? So you didn't do nothing. The money from the dog's plan didn't do nothing but go to Israel for the creation of a new state where they all are God's people and under the trust, take after the trust. So we got to start looking at this correctly and with a grand open mind and with a lot of interaction and different people calling in. 424-209-9506. Shout out to Brian King. He said he worked right now, but he listening. He contributed. Shout out to my man Brian King for being a contributor to this program. Jason Harris, Mr. Jefferson, Said Jefferson, Taj, and Betty Hampton. Shout out to y'all for contributing to today's program and keeping the truth alive right here on Channel 54. Because tonight is KevRow at night. I'm going to be talking some shit. You know, so I do want to get my classes out the way early this week, Monday through Wednesday, possibly Thursday with KevRow at night, Monday through Friday this week. Hit that like button and subscribe and support the broadcast of Nazis won World War II by way of corporation and international. I don't even know how to say this shit no more. Just they won the damn war and they beat you banking, stole the gold, and said Adolf Hitler ran off with ye gold, ye land. Since you are tied to the land, you're also tied to the gold. So not only did they take your land, your gold, and the possessions of that time, which is what would have been inheritance passed down to you guys, but they took the land as well, all given in reverse. And it happened at that flashpoint, as I brought up earlier, if anyone want to call in and remind the people. 424-209-9506. That's area code 424-209-9506. I know Ali out there somewhere listening. I know one of these brothers out there got something on their mind. Where we at? Mineral rights, land grabs. He just brought up a whole ton of information, and I've never heard that brother before. So he brought up a whole ton of information, and boom, you should be able to feed off that. I'm not gonna do nothing but go research all of these different things. I know Taj is probably on it. That's all I'm gonna do. Go back and research and finding out what happened to the gold and the land and even the people itself. We're talking in infirmaries here. Why did they do this? Well, the only way you can get this done is genocide. If you want to steal the land, the resources, the accounts, and bring over and hide history, again, me and the brother also chuckle. What we bring to the internet, what I brought to the internet with this time immemorial and this perspective, shout out to Amanda, is that whole thing where a person can say, wait a minute, that 1,000 years is bullshit, and their perspective has changed. What somebody thought was 1,000 years prior, their mind is able to adjust the possibility of 1800s or 1900s. So shout out to y'all. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air? What up?
Kev, this Thomas again. I had scrolled across something that I meant to say. The Freedmen Bureau bill is huge with everything you're teaching.
The Freedmen Bureau bill. I already found the bank and the Freedmen Trust, but the Freedmen Bureau bill, huh?
Yes, it says provided legislative authorization for the Freedmen's Bureau, formerly known as the Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands, which was set up by U.S. President Abraham Lincoln in 1865 as part of the United States Army. Following the original bill in 1865, subsequent bills sought to extend its authority and lifespan. Andrew Johnson tried to derail the bill's intentions to aid freed slaves until the Bureau was disbanded on account of rampant corruption during the first term of U.S. President.
Social welfare. Abraham Lincoln gave them social welfare. He didn't free them. He gave them social welfare and free Medicare, free aid.
Yeah, and then I didn't know that they had a Civil Rights Act of 1866 either.
A Civil Rights Act of 1866. Go ahead.
Yeah. And it was enacted in 1870. This was the first United States federal law to define citizenship and affirm that all citizens are equally protected by law. It was mainly intended in the wake of American Civil War to protect the civil rights of persons of African descent born in or brought to the United States.
You know when you just said about we just brought up Abraham Lincoln, and he freed the slaves with the what? 14th Amendment.
Yes.
He put them in a minor estate. That's when he enslaved them. He switched their roles from beneficiaries of the estates to being refugees and on welfare when they are the refugees. But that's why he raising the Negro child with his hand raising up that's why that's inflammatory. But he didn't free the slaves. They switched the 13th Amendment made them criminals. The 14th stole their benefit. They stole their inheritance. Genocided them. Paper genocided. Go ahead, King. I apologize. My brain just went to work.
I found this last night, and this got something to do with the pounds you were just talking about. It says a January 1919 proclamation, and it says at the top it says a proclamation by the Lord Justice General and General Governors of Ireland, and then it says James H. Campbell, whereas James McDonald and Patrick O'Connell, Royal Irish
Yes.
Constabulary, were murdered by being shot in townlands of Solohead Beg in the county of Tipperary, SR, on Tuesday, the 21st January 1919. Whereas a number of persons are believed to have been concerned in the actual perpetration of these murders. Now we, the Lord Justice General and General Governors of Ireland, for the better apprehending such persons and bring them to justice, are pleased hereby to offer a reward. And then that's they got the 1,000 pounds, the 300 pounds, and it's a free pardon at the bottom. And it says, and the special protection of the crown in any part of his majesty's dominion.
Yeah, because what was the name on that? O'Donnell? Oh, what?
James McDonald and Patrick O'Connell.
O'Connell is a Mac. Yeah, they are Irish. They are protected under the king. So yeah, they would have put bounties on them. Whoever did that.
What's so dangerous is these volunteers, like these words and these people in these positions step right into the army, the military, the navy, and they just volunteers and they ain't even organic of this nation.
Well, let's put it into perspective. Immigrants, when they come to America, they join the military. It's the same perspective. Now they're Americans. Nationalized, good old, and their kid is going to say, I'm American. I'm a First Nation. I was here. You see? It's just a continuance on. It's the same thing.
That night, I want to go to this, what I was speaking on earlier, the first phone call when I said the Thomas Ruther, and he he was associated with the Woodbridge shareholder company.
Right, right.
They have something called the trust principles, which were created in 1941 in the midst of World War II in agreement with the Newspaper Proprietors Association Limited and the Press Association Limited being the Reuters shareholders at the time. The trust principles impose obligations on Reuters and its employees to act at all times with integrity, independence, and freedom from bias. I probably have the other information in my other phone because I try to send everything to where I won't lose it, or if I happen to call in, I can just talk and look from the other phone. You there, Kev?
Yeah, I'm right here bugging, bro. I'm right here like researching myself. Like, damn, these
So
names.
I found something called the rubber stamp, and it's just a political metaphor. Is a person or institution with considerable de jure power but little de facto power, one that rarely or never disagrees with more powerful organizations. Historian Edward S. Ellis called this type of legislator a toy parliament.
Oh shit! What's it called?
A rubber stamp. It says, in situations where this superior official signature may frequently be required for routine paperwork,
Like
a
the Pope.
literal rubber stamp is used with a likeness of their handwriting signature in essence. The term is meant to convey and endorse without carefully thought or personal investment in the outcome, especially since it is usually expected as stampers' duty to do so. In this situation where a dictator's legislator is a rubber stamp, the orders that they are meant to endorse are formalities that are expected to legitimize and are
Oh
usually
shit! It's
done
like
to
puppet
create
government.
the superficial appearance of legislative and dictatorial harmony rather than because they have actual power. In a constitutional monarchy or parliamentary republic, heads of state are typically rubber stamps or figureheads to an elected parliament, even if they legally possess considerably reserved powers or disagree with the parliament's decision. Rubber stamp legislators may occur even in democratic
Yep,
countries.
there. I was about to say that's more democratic. That's how we live. It's like Disney. You got a puppet government just signing papers. Boom, boom, stamp, 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 stamp. No consideration of the spirit of the law with the rubber stamp. No consideration other than you may even disagree. The figurehead may even disagree. That's where you're getting all these amending, the changing of the law, because there is no disagreeing with sovereign power or the real law. The law is the law. God's law is the law. It's set in stone. But amending laws, you can pull this off. Go ahead.
Before I found that the rubber stamp, that came from the puppet state, and we all kind of know what the puppet state is.
Yes.
Dummy government. And every time you see the word de jure or de facto, you already know it's the Catholic Church with their linguistics and soft power.
So Mickey Mouse is truly King George with the rubber stamp. Go ahead. or Walt, or whatever, whoever the president is can be. But go ahead, King.
Okay, so I asked, was Germany a puppet state? It says during World War II, a number of countries were conquered and controlled. Some of these countries were given were then given new names and assigned new governmental leaders which were loyal to the conquering countries. These countries are known as puppet states. Germany and Japan were two countries with the most puppet states. These include Spain, the Grand Duchy of Warsaw, and a number of German kingdoms in Central Europe.
Wait a minute. So papal states can be puppet states. Papal controlled states, governments, truly can be puppet states. Go ahead, chat. That's in my brain. I had to go to the restroom real quick, but I'm like, it's something up with that. Like Disney, I've already identified like Disney being the puppeteer creation of theater of it. The religious aspect is over there, but thinking of it like how you breaking it down, I would say, yeah, puppet states.
Then I asked the question of what is the symbol for the loyalist? And it says the royal crown indicates the loyalty to the crown of the United Empire loyalists during and after the American Revolutionary War. The sword represents the Americans of the 13 colonies who took up arms out of loyalty. The tomahawk stands for the Mohawk loyalists who fought under the command of Chief Joseph Bryan.
Wow. Okay. That's why that's important. Oh my goodness. Loyalists of the king, tomahawk chop.
Yeah, that's all I basically got. And the last thing, along with the linguistics and the sound change and letter change in certain words, British. Okay, so the correct way to spell Britain is Bretons.
Yes.
Not the way they spell it with Britain.
Yeah, it's more like Breton.
Breton.
Breton. Breton.
Yeah. Yeah.
My man been on this shit.
Thanks to you.
My man, I appreciate that, King. I can have these conversations fucking forever and a day. Thanks a lot, champ.
All right.
My man. Gotta love that. People who put that work in enough to just have conversations, to just shed light on different perspectives. Because, again, these are open conversations. I'll start them. You know, we've been in class. The veterans been here for 4 years. People are come and go. People come and go. People come back. And I'm like, let's just open it up with conversation and hope people feed the conversation what's needed for others to learn, to go back. Because I can always go back today, tomorrow. Yesterday, 2 months ago, and always remember what a person wants to bring up there. So I just thought, why not just have these open conversations from this starting point? You know, at least we all know what Britain is, or England, or France, or, you know, I see this whole wagon industrial thing as after the destruction. Yeah, I don't even think these people can speak proper English in the early 1900s or nothing like that. I got a whole fucking different state of mind concerning immigration and who was here and how in the hell did we get ostracized in our own land. Black Friday. Let's take a look what Taj was bringing up a while ago as my lunch get here, headed my way to be here in a second. Black Friday gold panic September 24th, 1869 was caused by a conspiracy between two investors, Gould and his partner, Mr. Frisk. Press 1 and Abel Corbin, all the time speculator who married Virginia Jean Grant, the younger sister of President U. None of that matters. The New York Gold Exchange. Is this a part of all of that gold that went missing? Because he do look like, whatchamacallit, I wanted to see the significance in bringing it. Well, when my brain started doing this, it's time for me to eat. I hope y'all found something constructive to learn. Study John Butterfield, of course. He and if you do find some time, somebody dropped that postmaster, the postmaster around the time of these events. I think it was Mr. Butts. But if we can get some activity around that, around what he was doing, because again, he might just be Theodore Roosevelt or this guy who just got shot and murdered by somebody else before he handed the gold off to J.P. Morgan, who ain't nothing but a banker, Wells Fargo. Okay. My thing is, going back to our conversation of right before the brothers just called in, was basically genocided and then the changing of laws, sovereign laws. All of this destruction to me was going down right here in America, and the changing of laws was going on, and the hidden thing is African Americans were exterminated by the Red Cross at the camps. You know how I know? Because the Caribbean Keys, remember? Now, I gotta go out and get my chicken, right? But I'm about to put this on the screen. And this gonna wake you up. Right here. Because I just saw it right now. I posted on my Instagram. Okay. The POW flag. And before I show y'all this and take a quick second break, I want y'all to pay attention to something. The POW flag for America is a black person inside of one of these concentration camps by the Red Cross. Press 1. I noticed that the other day, I went shopping, get me something from Stusno, and American flag, of course, was there over the POW flag. And I said to myself, wait a minute, this is familiar. Did you know there's a black man? Press 1. And God is good to me because I didn't have to ask nobody. I just knew it. And then I said, that's him at the concentration camp. Press 1. You know how I knew it was him at the concentration camp? You see that watchtower right there? Hit that like button. Y'all see that watchtower right there? It's right there. behind his head. Now I'm gonna take a small 30-second break to go get my food because it's arriving, and I want you to chat and tell me what you think about my crazy conspiracy theories. Okay. All right, so I said, yeah, here it is. Now, I didn't know the watchtower was the exact watchtower. It just clicked. The Red Cross are guilty. Press 1. The Red Cross is guilty, bro. I'm not just saying reparations. These corporations, which have contracts by way of the federal government, are guilty of genocide. And not only that, the federal government itself is guilty of grand theft, robbery, and fraud, and a misuse of trust in a whole different category. But here's your Holocaust right here. I told you I was going to prove this shit. Here's your Holocaust right here. Old boy just named everything that happened after the Holocaust. The Holocaust is black people was put into the Krevny Krist. Remember the Krevny Krist? Would you? Y'all remember that? That's the camp. Those are the camps. The German Gestapo. Press 1. And then they did that in World War One. They was getting you up out of here. The World War Two, they took your story from World War One and gave it to themselves. That's a whole nother story. This POW, we will never forget. Your sacrifice is the firstborn. Is how America sacrificed the firstborn. These are the firstborn. Remember, I keep telling y'all this is biblical. All this was going on in America, overseas. That's the beauty in it. Because you can research concentration camps in America. There are specific corporations that you think are countries. You think countries are corporations. That is guilty of violations beyond your human capacity of their own what do they call that? Geneva Conventions. Against their own Geneva Conventions. POW flags are flown at the post office. Wow. Are you serious? Oh, shit. Oh, snap. All U.S. post offices. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well done, champ. Well done. I'm going to sit right here, and I don't care if y'all don't call in. I'm going to sit right here and connect my phone. Allow phone calls to be made. You can call in if you like. 424-209-9506. This is insane. Deb just telling y'all a lot. Deb, you want to call in and talk to me on lunch, Deb? Deb say, listen, this John 16. Y'all don't know nothing about it. Deb said, look, I seen that comment, Deb. Deb said, this is God work. You don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't even know what Kev is, right? Kev just proved anything you can prove on earth that's valuable. Kev just did it while eating Popeyes, 2 biscuits, and some macaroni and cheese. That's one. And the 2 apple pies. They said they were smart. They're not too smart. They said we was dumb. We're not too dumb. Press 1. We're not too dumb. I mean, Kev ain't graduated shit, and he know this. Coffee and Kush TV. We are the champions. Go ahead, champ.
Hey, what's up, Kev? This B calling in, man.
What up, champ?
Man, it's a lot of information been running around today. I'm picking up the POW flag that you posted.
Yes, sir.
Put up, and
Call from.
B, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, go ahead, champ.
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's saying National League of Families, POW/MIA flag. All right. If you don't mind, I just want to read what I see.
Go ahead, champ.
All right. It says the National League of Families, POW/MIA flag, often referred to POW flag, adopted in 1972 consists of official emblem of the National League of Families of American Prisoners and Mission in Action in Southeast Asia in white on a black background. Now, with that, I'm like, all right, they throwing in Southeast Asia, but that's not what it. We know that's not what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna continue reading. It says, in 2019, the National POW Flag Act
was signed into law, requiring the POW MIA flag to be flown on certain federal property, including U.S. Capitol building on all days the U.S. flag is flown. Okay, it goes to the design. It says a silhouette of prisoner of war before a guard tower and barbed wire and white on a black field. POW/MIA appears above the silhouette, and the words "You are not forgotten" appears below in white on a black field. MIA stands for missing in action.
What? Lost that seat?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Lost their seat. Okay. The design is, all right, I'm going to go down here to, protocol. This is what got me right here. Okay, protocol. Excuse me. When displayed from a single flagpole, the POW MIA flag should fly directly below and be no longer than the U.S. flag. The federal agencies under a chain of command, the U.S. flag code has a complete order of precedents that mirror Army Regulation 840-10. All right, I'm gonna pause right here on that. I hit on U.S. flag code, and this one came up. U.S. flag code. The United States flag code establishes advisory rules for display and care of national flag of the United States of America. It is Chapter 1 of Title 4 in the United States Flag Code. Although this is a U.S. federal law, the code is not mandatory. It is not binding. It uses non-binding language like should and custom throughout, and does not prescribe any penalty for failure to follow the guidelines. It was not intended to prescribe conduct and was written to codify various existing rules and customs. Okay, it got the flag code, and it says the long title. The act to revise, codify, and enact without substantial change certain general and permanent laws related to patriotic and national observances, ceremonies, and organizations as Title 36, United States Code, Patriotic and National Observances, Ceremonies, and Organizations. Now, when I read that long title, it said that basically this is federal, and they don't have no kind of it's Title 36. They telling us right there. So that mean they tapping into the trust under this.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you said what now?
No, I'm saying being that they said that this was they said this was the observances, ceremonies, and organization as Title 36. So they saying this flag and the flag code.
Yeah, because it's like going back. Taj would know that. Taj would tell you, it's like the Daughters of the Confederacy. It's like this is how they get paid off of the things that they've incorporated and amended. These are the little sub groups that they've brought into the equation with the titles. So even MIA is one of those types of groups, to where they're able, like the civil rights or the Civil War, they're able to get paid off of even the black people who died there, keeping up with the rhetoric and be federally funded, mandatory at the same time. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what when I heard Title 36, and I'm like,
we don't have none of those. Do we have any of those?
No, there's some of the groups.
Any of them like that? Yep.
No, we don't.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. It says separately, Congress passed the Flag Protection Act of 1968, amended in 1989. Since since struck down criminal statute which prohibits mutilating, defacing, defiling, or burning the flag. Although it remains part of codified federal law, it is not enforceable due to the Supreme Court of the United States finding it unconstitutional in United States versus Etchman. Additionally, the public law, which includes the flag code, addresses the public law, which included the flag code. They got Public L 105-225, largely codified in Title 36 of the U.S. Code, addresses conduct when the national anthem is being played while the flag is present. That law suggests civilians in attendance should face the flag at attendance, stand upright with their hands over their hearts. So that whole
say, "We love Hitler." Third Reich.
Yeah. Title 36.
There it is. I told you. Third Reich.
That's it. Bro.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
I never done it, bro.
of the United States. We have elementary. They said, "Get your asses up and pledge." We was little kids. We didn't know what the hell we were doing.
I got smacked up for not doing that when I was little.
But look, but hey, it ain't shit but a school.
Too.
You don't know as a child what the fuck you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Then before class, it's something everybody's doing. So, but it goes to show you how you were indoctrinated into a white or a third right covert mindset, and you think you in a world of defeat, but you've been indoctrinated a specific ideology.
Yeah, you're right, bro. I got a little.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna read that. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
No, I said go ahead. You good?
Okay. All right. It said. All right. I went to the history. It says Flag Day. Prior to Flag Day, June 14, 1923, neither the federal government nor the states had official guidelines governing the display of the United States flag. On that date, the National Flag Code was constructed by representatives of over 68 organizations under the auspices of the National Americanism Commission of the American Legion. It says the code drafted by that commission was printed by the National Organization of the American Legion and given nationwide distribution.
Oh my goodness!
On June 22nd, 1942, the code became public law. Little had changed in the code since the Flag Day 1923 conference. The most notable change was the removal of the Bellany salute. I don't know what that. Because the Bellany salute because of its similarity to the Hitler salute.
Oh my goodness! Wait! My man said, "I don't know." Well, keep reading. Now what is? Now what is the Bellamy salute? What the fuck is that?
All right, let's look. All right, the Bellamy salute. The Bellamy salute is a palm out salute created by James B. Upham as the gesture that was accompanied the American flag, the American Pledge of Allegiance, whose text had been written by Francis Bellamy.
Oh, what the fuck? So they trying to explain why they doing Nazi salutes in pictures some damn where. This got to be.
Right.
What the
Right.
fuck?
It was known as the flag salute during the period when it was used with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Wait a minute.
Bellamy,
Wait a minute. Nah, bro. Hold up, bro. Nah. I know I said it. I don't believe it. I didn't believe it. Damn it. No.
yes, sir. It's here.
Not like this,
Oh.
family. No, like this. That nigga said, you said it. No, no, no. You.
As the flag salute during the period when it was used with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, my goodness.
Bellamy promoted the salute and it came to be associated with his name. Both the pledge and the salute originated in 1892.
Oh.
Later, during the 1920s and the 30s, Italian fascists and Nazi
French
Germany
people
adopted a salute which was very similar, attributed to the
I'm
Roman
fucking
salute.
dead, bro. The
A
Roman
gesture-
salute. So it's the Roman
the
salute.
Okay, let's see. The Roman salute. The Roman salute is a gesture in which the right arm is fully extended,
Oh, no.
facing forward,
No.
with the palm down and the fingers touching.
You was waiting on that with the palm down and the fingers extended. Could you read that again for me, sir?
The Roman salute is a gesture in which the right arm is fully extended, facing forward with palm down and fingers touching. That's it. That's it. You can see it in your mind. Okay? In some versions, the arm is raised upward at an ankle. In others,
like
it is held-
not like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he lifting weights.
Now, like, what's the lady that died? The Queen of England when she was doing it.
Oh.
And an ankle raised up. Okay.
Shit.
Dang. Okay, all right. Hold on, let me get, all right. In others, it is held out parallel to the ground. In contemporary times, the former is commonly considered a symbol of fascism that had been based on a custom popularly attributed to the ancient Romans.
So the
However,
ancient Romans and the Pope and them was all doing Nazi salutes when Hitler came because he said, oh, the reason why the Pope and them is doing Nazi salutes is because that's the old Roman concept that Hitler tried to take, but he visited them and they all just, it's like shaking hands and did it to each other. Go ahead. Insane.
Okay. It says, however, no Roman text gives this description, and Roman works of art that display salutational gestures bear little resemblance to the modern Roman.
Oh, so
But
what they saying is that that's bullshit because that ain't nowhere on the scribes, on the walls, or nowhere except when Hitler was rolling around with Woodrow Wilson, aka Mr. Pius. Go ahead.
All right, Kill. Right now they got a picture of Romans doing the salute, and it says the oath of Horatati, 1784, by Jacques Louis David.
What?
Yes, sir. I'll send you the picture after I finish reading. Beginning with Jacques Louis David.
Oh my goodness.
David painting the oath of the Horatati, an association of the gesture with Roman Republican and imperial culture emerged. The gesture and its identification with Roman culture were further developed in other neoclassic artwork. In the United States, a similar salute for the Pledge of Allegiance, known as the Bellamy Salute, was created by Francis Bellamy in 1892. The gesture was further elaborated upon in popular culture during the late 19th and early 20th century in plays and in films that portrayed the salute as ancient Roman custom.
They in trouble.
This included 1914 Italian film Cavalry,
Oh my goodness.
whose intertitle was written by the national poet Gabriel Ananizo. In 1919, Ananizo adopted the cinematographical depiction salute as a neo-imperial ritual when he led the occupation of Bloom. Through Ananizoa influence, the gesture soon became part of the rise of Italian fascist movement, symbolic.
Italian Nazis, you say?
Italian fascists.
Those Nazis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fascist mean fascist is a cute word for they don't want to say Nazi.
Oh, they about to say it though. Hey, watch this.
Go ahead.
It says in 1923 the salute was gradually adopted by the Italian fascist regime, and it was then adopted and made compulsory within the Nazi Party.
Told
in
you.
1923.
So the Nazi sign came from Italy. Go ahead. France and Italy.
3 years later.
Told you.
3 years later.
Told you.
Right. It says.
I had an argument on the East Coast with an Italian, and I had to tell his ass, he told me he was an historian, that his forefathers were Nazis. And he was like starstruck. What the fuck? How would you know that? But here we are. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. It says, and gained national prominence in the German state when the Nazis took power in 1933. It was also adopted by other fascists, far-right, and ultra-nationalist movements. Since the end of World War II, displaying the Nazi variant of the salute has been a criminal offense in Germany, Chechnya, Slovakia.
I thought they was all Catholics. I thought they was Catholics.
And Poland. That's the Holy Roman Empire.
Oh yeah, so if it was so Roman, why it's illegal?
Right.
They trying to erase their own history. No, it ain't illegal. Y'all just don't want us to know y'all always with this shit. Go ahead.
It says legal restrictions on its use in Italy are more nuisance and used there has generated controversy.
It's more like drinking beer in public. You just get a ticket.
The gesture and its variations continue to be used in neo-fascist, neo-Nazi, and Phalanges context. But yeah, that's it on that. The history of it, man. That they just told on that show. I knew nothing about the Bellamy salute and the correlation with the flag, with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I mean, neither.
I just feel like I can't be pledging my allegiance to no flag. My allegiance belongs to God. You know, this is like on a simple level, but man, look how deep it is.
Bro, the Bellamy salute, bro, we in trouble.
And then another thing, Kill, when you was talking about
Have you ever wondered why no one would be caught dead using the...
I did some research on that. They come from the Ottoman.
Have you ever wondered why no one would...
And, all right, Ottoman is, I looked up what Ottoman is. The Ottoman goes back to oath man, like taking an oath.
Remember I said the Moors got to honor their oath, remember? Go ahead.
Right, you did.
Mm-hmm.
They're the oath man. And then, okay, I looked up how long was the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, they said they disbanded right around World War I when they joined up
just join up. Y'all been the same.
Kogu.
Yeah, you right.
They joined Germany, and they was always Germany and Italy. And y'all are our worst enemies. Go ahead.
I got a picture of them now. It got Egypt around the Mediterranean. Got Egypt, Canaan, Anatolia, the Hittites, Crete. That's all right. Then you got the Black Sea. You got the Caucasus people. You got the Caspian Sea. You got the Assur. You got Elam. The whole Mesopotamia. So all these people, North African. Then you got to go to Spain over there on the side. All these people are the Ottoman Empire and the Holy Roman Empire. They all one. They all one, and they all. That's why you see that eagle on all of them. Damn,
bro. Damn, you wrote that shit. Damn.
Yeah, bro. It really tripped me out, man. The days. It said they Central Asia too, Middle. Central South Asia.
So they're really just Asiatic, black, melanated people, like Turks, right. And yeah, go ahead. That's why they're always Moorish or Morocco, because all of these are like that's them.
Yeah. Another thing, when I looked up Oathman, the meaning of Oathman is wise, most powerful, dragon cub.
Really?
So that's their thing. The dragon cub. That's who they are.
Oh, say it again. Wise.
It's wise, most powerful, dragon cub.
Sons of the devil.
Sons of the devil, bro. It was something else that I saw too when I was looking up the Ottoman Empire. They had a silver bowl that pulled up, and I heard y'all talking about St. George, and it came up, and it's a silver bowl that they made called St. George and the Dragon. And it's
shit! Go ahead.
The St. George and the Dragon. You got St. George on the horse, and the dragon laid up on the ground, and George is stabbing the hell out of it.
It's killing the dragon with the spear of destiny.
Yes, bro. I said, man, they know the story. They just inverted.
Well, the story itself is prophecy. The story itself, all of the statues and all of that, is what's to come. They can only tell you like what's to come. All these statues been around, but Saint Michael is Saint George is a real person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And go ahead, King.
Oh, St. George. It's right there. Oh, I got one more thing on the.
Anything you want, brother. I'm here.
One more thing I seen on the babies. It says, beige or a variation has also been used as an aristocratic title in various Turkish states.
Turks. Go ahead.
Turks, such as Bak, B-A-K, and Tartar Khanate, like Khan, K-H-A-N.
Yeah.
Of Kazan, and change of Balik called Balik. The Uzbek Khanate of Kev, Khiba, the Emirates of Bukhara, the Khanate of Cotton, use of Beks, B-E-K-S, as local administrators or of Beyliks or provinces. The Balfour princes of the North Caucasus Highlands were known as Taubek, T-A-U-B-I-Y or T-A-U-B-E-K. B-E-Y, meaning the mountainous chief. Sometimes a bay was a territorial vassal of a khanate, as in each of the three Zeus's under the Khan, or of the Khan of the Kafka. The variation BED, Beg, Beg, Baya is still used as a family name or a part of a name in South or Central Asia, as well as the Balkans. In Slavic influence names, it can be seen in conjunctive with the Slavic Avic, El, suffix meaning son of, such as Bakir, Aldia, Esbegawa, Baya, Kanabi. So basically, it's showing that the bays run, all of them related. Even they talk about the white man and all this stuff.
Yeah, they're all related.
And, yeah, they say North Caucasus Highlands. They call child bays. It says from the mountainous chief. So y'all all the same people. We not getting confused with like the color lines or everything, but we just going. I'm just looking at what origin all that stuff come from. So the Romans.
Is Nimrod a bay?
Nimrod is a bay, and they showed Mesopotamia on there. That's where he beat.
That's
where Babylon was.
So is Serapis a bay?
Serapis Bay, yes sir.
So Serapis Bay, Nimrod Bay, Nimrod is a bay from where the bays originate, and all of this. It's not. The Bible is becoming more and more real to a lot more people now that you talking about this stuff. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, bro. Man, something else I want to share.
Take your time. I'm here.
And then I'm gonna jump off and let somebody else come in. But hold on one second. I just gotta find it.
I don't think nobody else, man. I'll probably get off. They
okay,
scared to call in. Go ahead.
All right. Dang. Well, I was what led me to this was when they were talking about I went from the Bays and then the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire, they were like when they talk about. They under the eagle, the symbol of the eagle.
Okay.
And that symbol of the eagle, they call. I'm gonna pull it up and tell you what they call it. It was called the Aquila.
Okay.
I looked up the Aquila. So what made me think about when I seen it was the eagle, I started thinking about all these different governments. Or now what you telling us, the corporation. Instead of government, all these different corporations are under the eagle. And you remember how German,
yes,
all these different people under the Aquila. And when I looked it up and I saw the eagle and the Aquila, it made me think about the Bible scripture. I started looking for a Bible scripture. All right, and then when I looked up the Bible scripture concerning eagles. This one pulled up.
Go ahead.
I'm almost there.
This is a good part right here. I like this.
This scripture pulled up and it slapped. I ain't gonna even lie. I was like, oh man. Okay. It said Ezekiel 17. The whole chapter is good, but the part that really got me was this. All right, Ezekiel 17. Man, you know what? Let me pull the whole chapter up because I'm going to go and read it, man. Ain't no sense in playing.
Ain't no sense in playing, bro. Might as well. People are here. I really don't want to get off the air, but, as long as y'all here, I'm here.
Ezekiel 17.
My man said, I'm going to just read it. Fine.
Yeah, like it was the other day when I just read part of it, you was like, nah, you read the whole thing. You right, bro. I'm going to read the whole thing.
Just read the whole damn thing, man. That's
and
right.
The reason why I'm going to have to jump off, I got to pick my sons up.
That's right.
All right, here we go. All right, Ezekiel 17. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, put forth a riddle and speak a parable unto the house of Israel. And say, thus says the Lord God, a great eagle with great wings,
come on,
long-winged, full of feathers, which had diverse colors,
come on,
came unto Lebanon and took the highest branch of the cedar. He cropped off the top of his young twigs and carried it into a land of traffic, and he set it in a city of merchants. And that's the part that got me. He said he set it in a city of merchants. It says, and he took also a seed of the land and planted it in a fruitful field, and he placed it by great water and set it as a willow tree, and it grew and became a spreading vine of low stature, whose branches turned towards him, and the root thereof were under him. So it became a vine and brought forth branches and shoot forth sprigs. There was also another great eagle with great wings and many feathers, and beheld this vine, and did bend her roots towards him, and shot forth her branches towards him, that he might water it by the furrows of her plantation. And it was planted in a good soil by great water, that it might bring forth branches, and that it might bear fruit, that it may be a goodly vine. So thou, thus saith the Lord. Say thou, thus saith the Lord, shall it prosper? Shall he not pull up the roots thereof, and cut off the fruit thereof, that it wither? It shall wither in all the leaves of her spring, even throughout great power, or many people to pluck it up by the roots thereof. Yet, behold, being planted, shall it prosper? Shall it not utterly wither? When the east wind touches it, it shall wither in the furrows where it grew. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Say now to the rebellious house, know ye not what these things mean? Tell them, behold, the king of Babylon is come to Jerusalem, and have taken the king thereof, and the princes thereof, and led with him to Babylon, and have taken the king's seed, and made a covenant with them, and had taken an oath of them, and he had also taken the mighty of the land, and the kingdom, that the kingdom might be based, that it might not lift itself up, but that by keeping of his covenant it might stand. But he rebelled against them, and sending his ambassadors into Egypt, that they might give him horses and much people. Shall he prosper? Shall he escape such things, or shall he break the covenant and stand and be delivered? As I live, saith the Lord God, surely in the place where the king dwelleth that made him king, whose oath he despised, and whose covenant he brake, even with him in the midst of Babylon shall he die. Neither shall Pharaoh with his mighty army
a great company make for him in war by casting a mount and building forts to cut off many persons. Seeing he despised the oath by breaking the covenant, when lo, he had given his hand and had done all these things, shall not escape. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, as I live, surely mine oath that he has despised, and my covenant that he has broken, even it will I recompense upon his own head. I will spread my net upon him, and he shall be taken in my snare, and I will bring him to Babylon, and he will plead with him there for the trespass that he had trespassed against me. And all his fugitives with all his bands shall fall by the sword, and they that remain shall be scattered towards all winds. And yea, shall the Lord, yea, shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken. Thus saith the Lord God, I will also take the highest branch of the high cedar and will set it, and I will crop off the top of the young twigs a tender one, and will plant it upon an high mountain and eminent. In the mountain of the highest of Israel I will plant it, and it shall bring forth buds and bear fruit and be a goodly tree, and under it shall dwell all fowls of every wind, and in the shadows of the branches thereof shall they dwell. And all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high season, have exalted the low tree, and have dried up the green tree, and have made the dry one to flourish. I, the Lord, have spoken and have done it. And that's it, my brothers. I hope.
What you was reading? What you was reading at? What's that?
Ezekiel 17. That was the whole chapter.
Yeah, but
he even said that.
Go ahead. What was you relating that to? I was actually about to bring up something else. What was you relating that to?
Well, when it was talking about that eagle, and I thought about the Romans and the Ottomans, and how it was talking about how the eagle broke off the tops of the cedar, and how we were talking about the cedar with people at one time or a nation, and it was saying that in verse 3, it was saying that the great eagle, long-winged, full of feathers, which had diverse colors, came
right.
to Lebanon and took the highest branch. But it said, verse 4, it said it said it in a city of merchants. When I think about the city of merchants, I think about the stock market.
Yeah. Where they buy, sell, and trade. Right.
And it was saying it broke off a high cedar. Like, I'm thinking King George. It broke off of that, the top of the cedar. And then it put them in a low state, and was selling them on the market. Not slavery, but what we debt bondage.
Yes, sir. Bonding them and so on and such.
And it was talking about oaths and how and everything, the covenant. It covered a lot, but all that whole chapter was making me think about everything we've been learning. And I'm just looking at everything from a different perspective. And that was pretty much it.
Thank you, champ. A more open-minded perspective, not so closed off. Thanks a lot, champ.
All right, thank you.
My man, Coffee and Kush TV, thank everybody for tuning into the program again. We're going to be talking about this tomorrow morning, of course, right here at the Row. Going from, he just brought it up about you oath brothers. You people who say they took the oath in the Illuminati. This is what you're talking about. Okay? You're talking about people who took an oath to same oath that's been around since the fall. Unfortunately, so many people died in that oath, and whatever it is, whatever y'all get yourselves involved with out there, I hope that it's spiritually worth it. You know, it's a battle believing in God. So I understand how people could have given up in their faith, but for me, you know, man, no matter what I'm doing, I'm never shy away from knowledge, wisdom, or a good Bible verse or something. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate the people who are able to keep these conversations rolling. Shout out to my Patreon, my Cash App. God bless y'all. Shout out to the subscribers. I will be back tonight, KevRow, at night, right here on Channel 54. And as always, family,